It is 9:30 on a Thursday night, and you're tuned in to Beltway Radio and Beyond, which can mean one and only thing. This is Chip Chat.
Oh,
Welcome to Chip Chat, everybody. I'm Chip. Who are you, Tez?
You just told him, buddy. Oh my God! Look, if you are watching us live on Beltway Radio and Beyond, I don't think are we on Ripped right now as well? Or
I think we are. Yeah,
simulcast on Rip Radio TV. Yeah, we have a Christmas theme. Festive. This is shout out to Brian. He's always
look at Brian.
He's always on it. Like this is not. This made me smile. I saw this. I was like, oh, look at that.
Candy canes and little pine needles and all kinds of stuff.
Present. Like you can, and this is not overbearing. This is like perfect. Actually,
it's non-denominational. I mean, it's very definitely Christmas, but it's not like insultingly Christmas.
Right.
Yeah,
I like this.
It's part of the war on Christmas.
The war on Christmas. Tell our listeners more.
So to be very clear,
you're not a happy holidays guy, right? You don't.
No. This is Christmas is a sacred holiday for my people, or it was.
Yes.
Until it was ruined. So Christmas is a time when many Jews celebrate by going to the movies and eating Chinese food in peace without all you stupid goyim around, and then they started releasing movies specifically on Christmas, so that all the goyim would come to the movie theater, and ruined our holiday, which was our holiday, and it was a sacred holiday, and that is the true war on Christmas. You've taken it away from the Jews.
I feel like this is like you sound like the NBA talking to the NFL.
Okay, there's that, but that's also more recent. I'm not mad at basketball on Christmas. I love basketball.
Because football is encroaching on this stuff.
Football needs to not be on Christmas. I know it is going to be on Christmas, but it should not be on Christmas. That's a
Cowboys is a Christmas game here.
That's ridiculous.
That's insane.
Okay,
I don't want to go.
If you're somebody like me who is also like about Christmas TV and movies and all of that stuff and Christmas music, I don't like.
You're not a Hallmark guy?
No, I hate all that stuff.
You're not there?
It's gross. And so, like, if I'm trapped someplace where there's TV and nothing else to do, thank God for the NBA on Christmas.
Yeah,
it's like I just got to make it till noon, right? And then
you just got to make it till noon.
Got to get to noon, and then there'll be basketball, and I'll be all right, And then the next day there's Boxing Day soccer.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Thank goodness for sports. Sports is great. Guess what we're going to talk about tonight a little bit later?
Sports.
Yeah, not in the good way.
Yeah.
For one of us. Okay. Yeah. You try not to have too much fun at this.
Look, I'm just going to listen. I just want to hear. I want to hear your unbiased opinion.
I promise to make absolutely no sense in discussing this matter.
Okay.
That's that I can. Okay.
Baffle the people with bullshit.
Yes. That's the plan.
All
right. So, welcome to a special edition of Chip Chat, not just because it's Christmas themed and all of that stuff or whatever, because this week we have Dr. Shannon. She's back with us.
Yes.
Which is remarkable. She's,
always exciting.
She's been here now several times, which is, it says something about her. So she's going to talk to us, of course, about Menno Start with menno-start.com, the dash for hot flash right there. And there's new rules about hormone drugs. So she's going to explain all that stuff, which is going to be cool. Also this week, we're going to play our favorite game, the clip game, the chip clip game, in which you get to watch us and laugh about it.
It is the most DJing to ourselves that we do here. It's the highest level of DJing.
It's like
Inception
inside baseball. That's how like it's great. And then we're gonna be on for 3 weeks, because that's how we do things around here.
Yes, my favorite.
That's his favorite part of this.
Girl, finally, vacation is coming.
Winter break is here.
It's never this part. It's Friday morning. It's never this. I love this part. It's Friday morning that has been bad for years for me at this point now.
Yeah.
That's the only part.
but it's worth it, right?
It is worth it.
We convince ourselves every week.
Yeah. And I take enough time off during the year anyways here.
Right. Not like you did anything to prepare for this show.
Not really, actually.
No, you did.
I copied and pasted the link and got on.
Oh, that was your link? Good. Okay.
That's what I did. I didn't say it was my link. I just said that's how I prepared for this show.
Good job. All right, and then we'll have a little rundown, and we don't have any like the real headlines. We're just gonna do like rundown stuff because we do that. But mostly
for the new year. I'm sure everything will explode over the Christmas break, and tons of things to talk about.
Speaking of which, breaking news.
Yes. Oh,
okay. So speaking of the Christmas break, between Christmas and New Year's, that is a really good time to bury stuff in the news, right? Nobody is watching the news. Nobody's paying attention. They're all in some version of a drunk food coma or like avoiding their relatives or looking sad at their credit card bills. But
that's in January.
Oh, okay. Look, I'm Jewish. I don't know how this works. But here is what we do know, and I want everybody, especially various congressional correspondents who may or may not be listening to the show, to pay attention to this thing that I'm about to tell you. Our sources, unnamed sources, have told this program that the Epstein estate has made a massive document dump to the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform that supposedly includes pictures of, quote, an unknown nature. Now, we don't know when anybody else is going to hear about this, but pay attention very specifically to that time period between Christmas and New Year's when it's a good time to bury stuff that you don't want people to hear about. And that might be when some of these things are released. So,
look at you.
Breaking news. Yeah, we're doing a little journalism here.
Look at you.
Occasionally we do that.
Very occasionally.
So, if you happen to be an intrepid reporter who is covering Congress, House Oversight, go maybe talk to them tomorrow or maybe wait a day. You never know. It's a lot of files they got to sift through. So just pay attention. Okay.
Look at that. There we go. Breaking news.
There's our breaking news. Okay. So, you got a word?
Do I have a word? Do I have a
like
word?
Dead air for radio.
I'm not dead air. You can filibuster this as well. What is the word? What is the word? Yeah, I have a word. Yes, I have a word.
Okay. I've got a word. So sit back, grab some
street balls.
It's clip time. You're listening to the best show, the only show, Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweeps.
Welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip, and with me is Tez.
What's popping up?
All right, so here's the thing. Despite the fact that we are, in fact, both dudes, we do care a lot about women's health. And no, it's not just because we have wives and daughters. It's because contrary to what Congress recently passed, women are people and do make up half of the planet. In our quest to better understand the larger half of the population, they outnumber us, by the way, we have our favorite lady doctor, Shannon Cawthorn, Dr. Shannon Cawthorn of Menno-Start.com, back with us. The dash is for Hot Flash.
Woo!
There it is.
I didn't realize this was my third time until just now.
Yeah, it is your third time.
I don't know what that means.
Great things.
2 more times and you get a one of those 5-timer jackets.
Yeah.
It's just
Sales
like
also, as what are we? Goyas?
Shiksa is
Shiksa.
the term. Yeah.
I would like to thank all the Dr. Goldblums for covering the hospital during Christmas for us. So thank you so much.
Yes, that's another thing that we're notorious for.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that.
We always
Dr. Goldblums and Dr. What's another Jewish name? Any of y'all?
Steinberg, yes,
whatever. And some of the Dr. Patels.
Yeah,
thank
right.
you.
When I was in a truck doing air conditioning work, I would always volunteer to cover Christmas.
That is nice.
Well,
I'll do Sukkot whenever you need me to.
we don't actually follow any of those.
You don't do Sukkot?
Not one of the big ones.
Do you have a Christmas tree in your house? I'm just saying.
I do have a Christmas tree.
I don't want to start controversy, but.
Well, my wife calls it a Christmas tree. It's a Hanukkah bush.
Hanukkah bush is hilarious.
Yeah.
Hanukkah bush.
Yeah, it's got a Jewish star on the top of it. So
perfect.
It's a Hanukkah bush. Yeah, I used to cover Christmas because it wasn't a day that I cared about, and I could get paid double time. So
right, that was the other piece I was about to ask. I was like, well, hey, you got paid for that. I know.
Yeah, for sure. Sometimes it's nice to live in a Christian nation. All right. It's not going well.
It's more like Christo fascism at this point, but whatever.
Well, we're about to find out about some of that. So here's the first thing I want to.
Wait a minute.
Yes.
This is the last episode before the holidays?
Yes.
Menopause?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. That's what we care about.
I live this life, but
so will our listeners today.
Okay, good.
Well, that actually gets us to the first thing that I wanted to bring up. And this is where, this show, we cover the economy, we cover politics, we cover news, but we're an intersectional show, right? So here we're going to do this question is really a thing where I have an observation and I want to run that by you. So here's the thing. I noticed there's this recent drug campaign, an ad for a menopause drug that's supposed to deal with hot flashes that uses that lick that was originally an Etta James lick that goes, "Ooh, I got a good feeling," right? And you hear that, and it was in Pretty Lights, I think, was the first band that really originated that little snippet, but then it gets into the Avicii song, and it's a common lick, right? Everybody knows that one. And it got sampled into a bunch of stuff in the early 2000s, 90s and early 2000s, back when young, cool folks like us were even cooler and younger. So is the song that they're choosing for this ad signaling that people in their 40s are entering menopause? And if so, no.
Yes. Very insightful and good question as always. And I would say yes. The millennials, if you will, and as a Gen X, I can appreciate millennials. They're really pushing a lot of this because millennials are not okay with just accepting women's suffering. They're like, no, we're not going to accept that. We're the millennials. We're going to ask questions and kind of find solutions. So I really respect millennials for that. So I would say yes.
Okay, good. See,
my coolness ended in the late 90s.
Yeah.
Gen X.
Yeah. I think, I'm only 10 years behind that. So
yeah,
that sounds about right. I don't know. Tez is still cool.
For now.
Look at his pink hat.
My pink, I'm repping MIDI Health.
Yeah, no, that's
nice.
what I mean.
Yeah, so that's what I'm trying to theme.
And that hat's hiding all your forehead wrinkles, so that's good.
Exactly. There we are. Exactly. So that was my lack of hair.
You hit that one right on the head.
Oh God, there we go. There it is.
That's good. Okay. So we do have you here for a reason, because we want to talk to you about this hormone replacement stuff that's going on and what the FDA used to say about these treatments and what they're saying now. So can you explain to us what was the situation with these treatments and therapies and what is now the situation with these treatments and therapies?
Sure. So back in the 90s, we noticed that women were getting heart attacks and strokes about 10 years later than men. So predominantly in their 60s, men in their 50s. And we're like, what is the difference there? And the difference is menopause. So we thought if we give everybody estrogen and progesterone forever, women will never have heart attacks and strokes.
Good theory.
But yeah,
did it
right?
work?
Observational data. And so, also there's a big pharma push for these meds, and we're going to cure menopause, and, everybody's wife and mom was going to be happy and not grouchy and feel good forever, right, on these meds.
And it
So
worked.
the
So
drug
now we don't have
companies,
this problem at all, and everybody's fine.
exactly, obviously.
Yeah.
So they did a randomized controlled trial. It was one of the first kind of women's health trials, actually, because traditionally women are excluded from medication trials because we're too complicated with all our cycles and things like that. So we'll just say women are small men, give them smaller doses, and it'll probably be fine. But then, the NIH was like, maybe we should actually study women, and as a different kind of body than men. And so the WHI World study, was looking at, we were going to prove how estrogen and progesterone are really good for women. But unfortunately, the study design was bad. It ended up looking at women who were older, late 60s, early 70s even, not just right at menopause. They were excluding people with hot flashes who would benefit the most from these medications. The study design just wasn't really what real life was. Plus, they were kind of old-fashioned medicines compared to what we have now. And so it actually showed an increased risk of heart attack and stroke.
Great.
To the point where the study was stopped early because it was unethical to continue. The mainstream media got this in 2002, was like, you were right, Big Pharma is trying to kill us all. Stop taking all your medicine.
Oh, no.
Everyone stopped. There was a big, also, breast cancer risk was increased from 1 in 1,000 to 2 in 1,000. The media reported that as like a 50% increase, which really wasn't what the data showed.
Works, but okay.
So people were afraid to take hormones. People were afraid to prescribe hormones. In 2003, the FDA put a black box warning on all estrogen, saying that it increased your risk of heart attack, stroke, and breast cancer. And so that's what the black box was, this warning that actually these medicines increase your risk of all of these things.
So the FDA misunderstood the bad study that was done.
I don't know what their understanding was of the study, but they kind of went along with what the mainstream thinking was at that time.
Okay.
I don't know much about what the FDA was doing at that time.
And nobody said, hey, this study looks like it was designed very poorly and we maybe shouldn't.
Right. So that's a great question. I graduated from med school in 2004. So I was a med student at the time. I remember this happening. It definitely changed kind of how we thought about women's health. And then obviously I went into an OBGYN residency in 2004. So it was a big shift. Like you could, there was funding from these companies, all of this stuff, and then it just dried up. It was a big, like a seismic shift where people practicing at that time could remember where they were when that media statement was made. So I don't know what the motivation was of the FDA at that time. I was, in med school, so I wasn't like super paying attention to kind of the politics of it. But I do remember the feeling of like, uh-oh, we got this wrong,
Yeah, it seems pretty obvious looking back on it that, okay, you have a poorly designed study. Also, going from 1 in 1,000 to 2 in 1,000 is not a 50% increase. I don't know who doesn't know how to math, but that is.
I mean, I'm just a vagina doctor, so I'm like, well, that sounds good.
That's not how math works.
Yeah,
no,
not how math works.
But
at all.
But in that time, so I finished residency in 2000. I can only talk about myself, right?
Yeah, sure.
So I finished residency in 2008, went into private practice. I was definitely not practicing that way. And I think a lot of gynecologists were saying, it doesn't make sense. The study design wasn't great. You're 50, you're whatever, depending on who the patient was, your risk is actually lower. You don't have any increased risk, your family history, whatever. And so I still prescribed, and to this day, haven't changed my prescribing habits based on what the FDA has said. But I did have patients who I would give them medicine, talk to them about risk, benefit, what that meant, how the study design didn't apply to them. They would get home, read the package insert saying how this medicine's going to kill you, and decide, why is Dr. Cothran trying to kill me? And then not take it. And I wouldn't see them again for a year and not know. So that's where it harmed patients, not in what physicians and prescribers were doing, but how the information was given to the patient. And then it was a lot of fear-based messaging.
Well, that's kind of a big problem. One of the things that I think often when you're talking about whether it's vaccines or any other medication is that people hear the side effects or the negative, the adverse effects, and they're weighing that against nothing happening. And that's not the thing to weigh it against.
Right.
You have to weigh it against the risk of not doing the treatment, which could be substantially worse. So like, with these vaccines, they're like, oh, well, it could cause the myocardial, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, well, right. That might be bad and pretty rare, but getting COVID and dying is much, much worse.
Right.
And so you have to really understand what the two things that you're weighing are. And that's never presented that way. It's always presented against a baseline of nothing happening. And that's not how it works at all.
There's a lot of distrust. And we just don't have time.
There was.
Yeah, we don't have time to combat that in a 15-minute office visit.
Right.
It goes with the bias of, oh, I knew it. They are trying to harm me. It kind of confirms that bias for the patient.
When did that become a thing that people started to suspect the medical community of being intentionally harmful?
I don't know.
That's weird.
WebMD.
Yeah,
I think the vaccine stuff started that, which came out in 2006. That one paper in the Lancet that was then retracted. Andrew. Yeah.
Don't worry. The guy and his son who wrote that paper that was retracted are now like on the panel that's deciding what's going on with vaccines. So that's great.
I think that started it. Thalidomide, is a medication that we gave for preterm labor and hyperemesis, which is when you vomit a lot during pregnancy, recurrent pregnancy loss. And then it ended up causing birth defects, and people began to mistrust, obviously, when that data came out. People of color, they have a much different experience in the medical system. And then, how studies were done, using slaves and enslaved people and different things, created Tuskegee, created a lot of distrust in those communities. So I think it's been happening for generations. And then COVID just made all of that, and then the internet, like so much more. Doctors aren't good at communicating because they don't have time. So I think it's been kind of a buildup this whole century for many, many reasons, not just this study, but.
Well, even as recently as, like you say, 100 years ago or so, like if you look at the kinds of treatments that were standard operation back then, they're ridiculous and ghastly and clearly not the right,
Right. And we've learned a lot. Like, as science is good. We've learned a lot of things.
I heard science is wrong and it's making frogs gay.
Right. Well, that's true.
Yeah.
That part is true.
Obviously.
That's from a real doctor, everybody. You heard that.
Frogs are gay now.
Yes. But it's okay to be gay, so the frogs are fine.
We're pro-gay, except for delivering babies. We need some people not to be gay.
Right.
Because that could kind of ruin the business, maybe.
We need some heterosexuals.
Right.
Although we have in vitro and all that. So never mind. I retract my statement.
There you go. Yeah, I've often said life would be a lot easier if everybody was gay. Well, no, I'm saying that like as a joke, but also I'm thinking about like, not for nothing, but like men and women don't understand each other for shit. And if the person you were married to was also another same as you, there might be a lot fewer arguments.
I think that statement implies that you don't have a lot of gay friends.
That's not true.
I think they have a lot of the same issues that everyone has.
I was gonna say, I feel like the issues would still be there, no matter what. Because human beings.
That's not how comedy
humans are
works.
Human. Oh, sorry, we ruined.
You are ruining the premise of the joke.
Sorry, comedy killer. Right.
I am very aware that gay people have arguments with their
just
spouses.
Walked over your joke.
Get some gay friends. Please.
I run the kitchen every year at a gay bonspiel. I'm well connected to the
He's a step away from saying some of my best friends are gay.
Some of my best friends are gay. Yeah. Right. I'm well connected to the community. I am aware they fight with each other. That's not how the joke works. The joke works that if I was married to a dude, I wouldn't have to ever be like, "Hey, can you turn that Hallmark movie off? I want to watch football," because my husband would also want to watch football. That's the joke.
But I like the Hallmark movies.
You're also ruining the joke. Anyway.
I just wonder if the joke is the problem.
Oh.
You may have discovered something.
Maybe it's not us.
See, this is why we can't.
But I do love you. I do love you.
I love that. So it's a great dismount, but I do love you.
I love you in a heteronormative way.
That's good. Thank you.
Yeah. Very binary.
In a platonic, pro-binary, heteronormative way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Okay. So let's get back to this question I do have about the hormone replacement thing. I am nominally trying to learn something here. So why do you want to prescribe this stuff? What can it do that people shouldn't be, or, people are afraid, okay, but here's what it can do for you. Maybe you won't be afraid if you know about that stuff.
Right. So I'm going to answer that question in kind of a different way of, what did we expect the FDA to do as menopause providers? So the difference, there's two different kind of applications for estrogen. So estrogen, it's a hormone. It does a lot of things, especially in the female body. It's in both genders, but I know more about females than males because I'm a gynecologist and that's what I've studied. But it does have some risks. It's good for, estrogen's good for bone health. It can be good for skin, hair, joints. There's some data that it helps cardiovascular disease, that it can help our brain, mood disorders associated with estrogen changes. Really there's estrogen receptors throughout the whole body, but it does have some risk. It can cause blood clots, which is the word we use is thrombogenic. So it is a chemical in the body that can cause clots. So if you already have a risk of a clot, You don't want to add a thrombogenic hormone because that will increase the risk. So that's something that we worry about. And then it can cause cells to proliferate in the breast. Like if you're growing a person and you need to breastfeed that person, estrogen causes breast tissue to proliferate, uterine tissue to proliferate. That's a good thing that it's doing. If it's doing that not in that context, it can increase your risk for breast cancer, uterine cancer.
Right, because it's growing a bunch of cells that
growing cells that right. So it's a proliferative thrombogenic hormone, but has some benefits too.
Okay.
That's systemic. So if you take a pill, do it through the skin, it gets into your system, it can do those things. It can suppress the ovary. So in somebody that's menstruating, it can suppress the ovary and help you not ovulate, which is how it works for birth control. That's a good thing. It can help with PMS. It has a lot of good effects. Actually decrease your risk of ovarian cancer when you're ovulating. If you stop ovulating, that can decrease your risk. So there's some good things that birth control does, higher doses. And then in menopause, there's some good benefits as well, kind of like I mentioned. The vagina is a separate part than the rest of our system.
It doesn't play with the rest of the system? It's connected though, right?
It's connected and it does play with the rest of the system, but the vagina loves estrogen in a different way.
Okay.
Than the system. Yeah. So vagina, heart, estrogen.
That's good.
And so after menopause, when vaginal estrogen goes down, the vagina is not as stretchy, there's not as much lubrication, and so it can cause a lot of pain with intercourse. And then even in more elderly people, it can cause urinary tract infections and issues because the lower third of the urethra and the vagina come from the same cell in the embryo. Both have estrogen receptors. So actually having vaginal estrogen in the genitourinary system helps prevent a lot of issues, not just for sexual function, but mostly we've used vaginal estrogen to help with penetrative sex.
And is there a way to give it in a way that only targets that area and not systemic?
We give it vaginally.
Oh, it's just
put it all up in there. It ain't rocket science.
No, I mean, it seems like an obvious, I didn't know if there was a delivery method,
There's a little applicator, there's creams, pills, and suppositories. The vaginal mucosa is similar to kind of what's inside the cheek.
Yeah.
So you put medicine in there, it dissolves, gets into the tissue. And so that doesn't get into the rest of the system, doesn't cause increased risk of heart attack, stroke, and breast cancer, right?
So there's
a lot of people with breast cancer have vaginal issues. A lot of people that have had a blood clot have vaginal issues. So for a long time, gynecologists have been like, you can't put the same black box on vaginal estrogen that you have on systemic estrogen.
Because they're really different things.
Different risk profiles, different benefits. And so what we were pushing for as menopause providers is to get the black box off of vaginal estrogen.
Okay.
But what Kennedy and what's his name? Marty Markete, the FDA guy.
Sure.
They just took the black box off of all estrogen.
Yeah, I want to ask you about that.
We were kind of like, whoa.
That's not what we asked for.
Is that
we're happy, but it was a little different than we expected. Right. Yeah.
Yeah, well, that gets to this question of, do you think that the current HHS, because this does sound like it's very pro-woman.
Yeah.
And for that to come out of this administration sounds confusing,
right?
To say the least. So do you think that once they realize that they've done something good for women, they're going to take it back or something? Is it just because they don't understand, or what's really happening?
The worry is it is definitely like an abusive relationship, where they're like, no more reproductive rights and we're going to take away birth control, but here you can have menopause hormones. It's like, yay, it's confusing. But what we worry about, what a lot of people worry about that are taking care of patients in this space is it kind of increases the confusion rather than decreases it.
Right. Because
the
of who the
messaging
messenger
isn't evidence-based.
Right. I think about this all the time when occasionally the Trump people, whoever they are, whatever the circumstance are, say something right.
Right.
And you're like, wait a minute, how did you get that right? Everything you do is wrong, and you got this thing right. And now that's going to confuse people, because if the reflex is to not trust them, but they get something right, how do you explain to somebody, all right, well, this one you can believe, but not all these other ones? That's like, okay, taking food dye out of food, it's like, yeah, all right, sure, that's not harmful.
Sounds great.
Cool.
Everybody feels better in Europe when they're eating bread over there. Right.
Yeah,
so something's wrong with our food. Right.
Okay, that's all fine. It's like, but it's the blind squirrel finding a nut thing. It doesn't mean that like also vaccines are going to kill you. Like, so how do you square that circle? Because you've got a terrible messenger in RFK and all of these other wackadoodles out here, and then they get something like this right. How do you explain that? Suppose you have a patient comes in and is like, look, I heard this thing and I want to, it sounds good to me, but it also sounds like it came from a crazy person. Now I don't want to do it.
Well, I think for us, I'm going to say for me, I can't talk for everybody, obviously, that it is helpful that people are talking about this at all, women's health.
Right.
And so I am taking it as an encouraging sign, I mean, the fact that I'm on your show a third time and now I'm talking about vaginal estrogen versus other things, I mean, that's huge, because that's not something that we were talking about outside the office, for a long time. Even I had a patient today who's in this phase of life and didn't understand the difference.
And so you told them to tune into ChipChat tonight so that they could get some more information. Yeah. Well, because it's not covered for their time in insurance. You only get so long for a visit, but here you get a long form interview where they're really going to learn stuff.
It's true. But in my cash-based practice, you get it as much time as you need. So
there you go. There you go. Check it out. Menno-start.com.
Always
the dash is for cash.
That's right. Give me the cash. But even even I had to look stuff up for today just to make sure I was on the right message. And I've been doing this for 17 years, and I was there when the WHI study came out, and I've been practicing like with real people for this whole time. But I wanted to make sure that I was saying the right thing, because it's confusing even for a women's health expert, and before med school, I even studied hormone receptors, for 2 years. So if I'm confused, the lay public is going to be even more confused, and it's hard to break it down. But it's interesting that, Kennedy, it's like a broken clock, being right twice a day. And it is confusing, to be honest. I don't know how to feel about this whole thing, but I think it will help patients access these medications better, because they're not going to have the black box, which makes them afraid. What we're worried about is it's kind of oversimplifying that these medications in general and kind of making them sound like they're totally safe for everybody. Right. And that's not the case. There are some risks with these medicines, and you should get them from somebody that knows your history, knows your family history, understands those risks, and can help you understand that before just giving it to everybody. And so I think that's what we're kind of worried about.
Obviously these are prescription meds, and it's the thing that you get from.
I don't know. I think you can get them online.
Well, that's where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Right? So one of the things that we've learned about is, compounding pharmacies who are masquerading as these alternative medication providers, whether that's Hims or Roe or all of these other things you see out there. What they are doing is they do nominally give you a consultation and a prescription, but it's not a good one, and it's not a real one. And they're not asking your family history, and they're not asking your family history risk of blood clots or cancer or anything like that. They're just having you check some boxes that make it legal for them to then sell you these meds. Let's be clear about that too. So I worry that like taking this black box off of here now, if people are getting these meds from say Menostart, right? They're having a consultation. They are going over the family history, and
a board certified gynecologist, with a valid medical license.
Right.
It's a different, scenario.
Well, and you're going to explain it to them in a thorough way that can answer all of their questions, whatever they've really got. But if they do find a way to sort of short circuit that and go online to, ChineseEstrogen.com and get a bunch of
MIDI.
Yeah.
I hate to say, I know you're repping the hat, but
yeah.
It is that kind of a practice though, right? That's the business.
They're like, here's your bag of pills.
Yeah.
Good luck. Yeah.
So, I mean, is that a thing that the menopause provider community is concerned about?
Yeah, for sure. And also, for hundreds of years, there's been snake oil salesmen, right?
Sure.
So part of that is that when people don't feel good, they want something that's going to make them feel good forever. Yeah. And so if you go online, and you see that the HHS secretary is telling you, this is going to prevent heart disease, prevent dementia, prevent bone loss, without any nuance to the discussion, you're going to be like, great. Especially Maha, it's who's been so anti-pharma and then is now like, but this one's good.
Right.
It's confusing. And it's interesting because the Menopause Society, which is, kind of these older, nerdy menopause doctors that have, been doing menopause for years before it was cool. And now everyone's talking about menopause. Their membership has exponentially grown in the last 3 years. Like they showed this graph of members. It's crazy. Because everyone's talking about menopause now. After the press conference by the FDA commissioner and HHS, they came out with like all these slides on their Instagram that was like, and I'll just read, should hormone therapy be used to prevent heart disease? No. And then they have all the reasons.
No.
And then the next slide, should hormone therapy be used to prevent dementia? No. Here's all the reasons, and they're just like, does hormone therapy prevent bone loss and protect against fracture risk? Yes. So they're trying to kind of combat this misinformation, which isn't totally misinformation. It's just that we don't have enough data to make these definitive statements either way.
Sure.
And so that's the danger in my mind. But everybody except for men should be on vaginal estrogen because it's the best.
I think
that's what we thought would happen.
The thing I would worry about is these like tradwife influencer Maha types who can get a financial benefit from telling people to follow their link in their bio to get their own estrogen stuff, who are going to go out and sort of vastly oversimplify and grossly misrepresent the actual science on this, because as you just spent the last 18 minutes or whatever, 35 minutes describing to us, it's very, very complicated and not something that fits in a 2.5 minute Instagram video. So
and it's not cool. Like you're at a cocktail party and they're like, oh, you do menopause? Like, tell me about estrogen. And you get into it for 2 minutes and they're like, oh, I see my friend over there. It's like, it's not buzzy and cool to talk about. So
it probably will be after coming on this show, because
is there a way to change that?
Real.
Right.
And
I mean, I'm trying to use the word vagina as much as possible to make it cool, but that's my strategy.
I'm a big fan of vagina. Let me just say.
Who isn't? It's the best organ.
I mean, Most of my friends are big fans of that. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, Brian.
Okay.
All right, Brian. Calm down.
The medical
It's a
term,
family
Brian.
show, sir.
Vulgar that it just came from Harvard. The one question I had was around, I guess, like technology in women's health. Like, have you seen? I was watching what's her name, Carrie Egan, like with Teal Health, and they had like this wand. Like, it seems there's these advancements, I guess, in technology. I guess, are there things that you see that you're like, oh, this seems to be this
robot delivered vaginal estrogen?
Well, I don't know if a robot. I'm not going to go that far, but are there technologies that you've seen that you're like, oh, I could see this being a benefit in the future, I guess, in the field?
So I'm not anti-influencer in any way. I think that it has really increased the awareness, has moved forward the conversation. It has made people use the right language when they're asking questions to their providers and like figuring out, do I need this? It's destigmatized aging in a lot of ways, which for a long time, women weren't supposed to age. So, or talk about menopause, or the fact that, their value is having babies and that part's done. This whole influencer menopause movement has really made it okay to even talk about the fact that we're in menopause, which even 5 years ago, people were uncomfortable with. So I give them huge credit for all of those things. And then obviously, I'm doing a menopause GYN practice, which would be unheard of 10 years ago, because it's not like people weren't going through menopause, but we kind of had just accepted women's suffering as normal, and you're not supposed to talk about it. And then generations before that, people didn't live this long in menopause. So it's a new phenomenon, and so I appreciate everything that they have done. The issue for me, as somebody who actually practices and talks to patients, is it's way oversimplified.
Right.
And this is another issue with big kind of corporate medicine and all the money going into, and nurse practitioners and PAs, and kind of trying to make protocols for everything that fit into these 15-minute visits that private equity can then monetize, is that doesn't work for this stage of life. It's not that everybody at 50, here's your patch, here's your progesterone, we cured menopause, here's your bag of pills, come back if you need a GLP-1 and we'll talk to you then and have a nice day. So it's the oversimplification, and that's what this FDA statement kind of did as well, making it seem like, yes, menopause is a disease that we need to treat, and here's the treatment, and yay, it's available and it's safe for everybody. But that's not totally the case. And so the problem when that happens is you're going to have adverse effects, and then that's going to increase distrust and kind of make that bias of, oh, look, they said it was safe and it's not. Right. I told you, and then the pendulum's going to swing back again.
Yeah.
And what we need is time, nuance, personalized care, whole body care. And what the system is now just doesn't.
Nuance and time is the name of this show, but also
that's right there.
I mean,
has private equity ever touched anything and made it better? I don't think so.
Not that
I don't. Red Lobster.
Red Lobster.
Yeah, I watched the Phil Edwards thing about that. That was kind of interesting, but yeah, I mean, my business.
I mean, I'll take some money if they're out there.
Yeah,
yeah, obviously,
exactly. That's not too crazy.
My business has also been eclipsed by this private equity, which has changed the way from where we used to go fix people's air conditioning and get them cooling or heat or whatever, to now basically all of the home service companies exist only to sell you new equipment, and they do not.
They don't fix
actually.
Anything.
Yeah, nobody fixes anything because that's time invested and that's not making money. So
right.
It's I appreciate that impact. Obviously, it's very different air conditioning versus your you know,
I don't
physical
know.
health.
I mean,
Well, I would like to say that air conditioning is as important as your health because I
look
hate
at
being hot
Arizona.
and sticky. Yeah, right. It's gross.
It's going to be uninhabitable in 2030, according to Google. Yeah.
According
I
to
was
Google.
just out there yesterday, actually. And I was like, is this place going to survive? And Google was like, no.
No. And Google said, you know why? Because we built a data center out here and sucked up what little water there was left.
After we built a bunch of golf courses.
Right. Yeah. You know, the stuff you're supposed to have.
And soccer field, which is why I was there.
Oh, that's okay. No,
not if it's one of those turf fields that gets like 50 degrees hotter than it does anywhere else because of that chewed up tire rubber they use for dirt.
It causes pituitary cancer.
I was gonna say that's what I was gonna say. Does turf cause cancer? Do we find that
you can smell those fields from blocks away? Like they're off gassing at an incredible rate. It's very obviously not good. But you know, you don't have to maintain them and you can play on them in the rain. So it's great. Why not? You don't have to mow them. So,
hey, U.S. men's soccer needs help. So what are you going to do?
Yeah, we have to give the rest of the world cancer in order for U.S. men to be like, no, Tyler Adams scored a goal from like basically midfield in real soccer. So
real soccer.
Well, England's real soccer. There's speaking of which, hey Tez, how's it going in Villa Park these days?
Oh, anyways, let's continue on.
He's so mad.
Let's continue about our conversation.
You were gonna win that game too.
Is that a Ravens comment?
No, that's a Gunners joke.
The Ravens did me wrong too this week.
Oh, yeah,
Brian,
I only got 6 right all week last week.
It was a rough week for picks.
That's bad week.
Bad. Okay, so we do want to.
I blame the turf.
Yes.
There you go. That's all
right.
We need someone to blame. The turf.
Oh, that's a great answer. Yeah, since we switched to turf field in Ann Arbor, everything went fucking crazy. That's it.
There it is.
Thank you, Dr. Shannon. You've given me a postage stamp on which to stand, and I'm gonna fight from there.
Nothing with that coach is the problem.
Yeah, nothing at all.
You're not joining us for that segment. I don't.
Okay.
I think you can get a whatever there, hokey.
They need some vaginal estrogen over there.
Yeah.
God.
Go blue.
All right, let me ask you a very important question before we let you plug all of your stuff. People may have noticed in recent photos of our current president that it does look like he has a bit of female anatomy on his neck. So would you recommend the vaginal estrogen for President Trump's neck vagina?
I'm gonna no comment that one big time. Sorry.
It's probably a
good answer.
It's a good answer.
Even at 10:28 p.m. I know this can be reposted.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it will be reposted.
I'm not trying to get canceled, sir.
No,
but
we haven't even gotten noticed, let alone canceled. There's nobody's gonna see that.
I was gonna say.
But
Melania could probably use some estrogen, vaginal estrogen. Poor lady.
Yeah. You would say that, but you wouldn't say the other thing. Okay.
I won't say the other thing.
Okay.
Don't worry, I will.
You know, you can put estrogen a lot of places.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
Okay, very fair.
That's all I'll say.
We're not endorsing the armpit.
And I am really glad that I looked up all these stats for this talk.
Yeah, I told you it's gonna be at our level. Okay, so speaking of things that people can look up, how can they look up Menostar and how can they call you or get an appointment or whatever if they need to get vaginal estrogen or anything else?
Any other kind. Menostar.com / for hot flash. I love that so much. And I give you 100% credit for that. They can do a free 15-minute consult through the website. Or just join our 6-month program to get you started into this phase where you can thrive, not just survive.
That's what we want. There you
Yeah.
go. Thrive, not just survive.
Not to survive. And there's lots of information on the website. And then you can also email me, scothren@menostart.com, meno-start.com. It's my personal email that I check all the time. And I would, if you have any questions, love to talk to you about it.
There you go. It's Menno.
No Trump next questions, though.
No, it's just
No.
not about your neck. It's not
Only
a neck. It's not a neck clinic.
those I will block.
There you go.
Surprised she hasn't blocked me yet.
No, that's
Maybe after this.
Yeah, I was gonna say
2026, no more chip chat.
There will not be a fourth time.
No, I love you guys. I'll talk about hormones all day. We haven't even talked about testosterone, my other favorite hormone.
We should talk about that.
Yeah, we should talk about that. But
we'll get Coach back for that.
Yeah, I was going to say that'd be almost like having men go to the doctor, and we don't do that. So
you know why? Circumcision.
Yeah, it causes autism. So
going to the doctor. I thought it was Tylenol.
No, autism is caused by circumcision. Where were you?
Circumcision.
Yeah,
that's
why only Jewish people get it.
In the world, we need some autism.
I mean, a lot of autistic people do amazing
stuff.
Do a lot
of great things.
Yeah, you think those data centers were made by non-autistic people? Wrong.
No, very definitely not.
No.
They don't
Thank
look like
God for that Tylenol.
Virginia.
I like my cell phone.
Yeah. Well, we had Chris Bowden on a few weeks ago, and he was discussing about weaponized autism and how he uses that to be like a superhero. And I love that idea. Everybody's got a little twist of something that makes them different, and it's so much of our culture was based on suppressing those differences and trying to harmonize everybody with each other. And that now there's a lot more acceptance of like, oh, what's different about you? And that's the thing I get to celebrate and like and enjoy. And I think that that's a great thing. And I think it might unlock a lot of potential because all of us have something that's special and weird. And instead of hiding it, maybe we should share it.
I think the kids are way better at that than my age.
Yes.
I mean, I'm 49 and it's not even a question for them. They don't even think about it. Yeah.
They would never say like, what's wrong with you? But they introduce each other and they go, this is this person, look at this cool thing about them.
Exactly.
Or something. And I think that's fantastic. And I think I can't wait to see
my kid
what
wanted an IEP. He's like jealous that he didn't have one. And I'm like, you should be happy that you don't have one. He's like, why? They get like a special teacher and all this stuff. And I was like, okay.
All the cool kids have IEP.
Yeah.
Completely different than
when I was a kid. Yeah. So it is good. And, they don't even describe people. I mean, in this area, maybe it's different in other parts of the country.
Yeah.
I mean, we definitely live in a bubble.
Yes,
that's true.
Like acceptance and diversity.
I do want to caution people against like too much of that because you don't want to be Elon. So you have to get like the right mix of like, you can celebrate whatever makes you different and weird, but try to be not that weird.
But he is the first trillionaire or something like that.
Not yet, he's not.
Oh, he's not. Oh, good.
God willing. Luigi, never mind.
Hold on.
No,
what, sir?
He's on trial right now. That's all I'm talking about.
Oh God, no, sir.
He had a hearing this week. What are you talking about? Calm down. All right. So meno-start.com.
Yes.
It's a great transition.
Hormones, they're your friend.
There you go. Okay.
That's all we need to know. Yeah.
Go to meno-start.com. The dash is for Hot Flash and they take cash. So make sure you go there for that. And if you have any other questions, of course, you can contact. We will be posting links throughout the week or whenever we get the clips up. So, follow along for that and make sure you share, like, subscribe, whatever you're going to do to like get more people to talk about vaginal stuff.
Stuff. Menopause Society is also a good resource if anybody is looking for more data. I would suggest they go there. yeah, as well. So
I can't wait to join the Menopause Society.
you're in it, babe. You're in it.
I'm in it.
Automatic.
Yeah, see, we're in
Look at
the
that. Automatic entry.
we're in the thing with J. Scott Smith, and now we're in the Menopause Society.
Yeah.
We're
Look,
All the Jewish guys are in it.
we're
That's right. Hey.
collecting societies.
That's right. Sounds a little rough there. No, let's not be doing that. Not good. All right, we're gonna take a break and let Dr. Shannon Cawthorn go back to treating
Past
her
my
patients.
bedtime.
It sounds terrible.
Thank you so much. Happy holidays.
Happy holidays.
Thank you for hanging
Tell
out
your
with us.
ladies I say hello and I love them.
I will absolutely let them know. All right, we're gonna take a break. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Swips.
Thank you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
Sometimes I feel like I got nothing left in me. No appetite for the fight, just let me be. Sometimes I feel like I got no faith of my own. I need someone to show me I'm not alone. Oh baby girl, there's so much beauty, I wish that you could see. Every inch of you's what makes you you and fits you perfectly. Gotta take a minute, look within, yeah, 'cause honestly, you got it, babe. You got this, babe. Ooh, do you want me to be? I say you already got what you need. I'm sorry, ooh, no apologies. Okay, yeah, right, I got it, babe. You got it, babe. So what you're saying is I don't need to play this game. That's right, let's break these chains of shame. No fear, no blame. Been shedding tears in the mirror. Been wasting all my time. Not gonna let it, coulda, shoulda, woulda, barracuda, attitude, Buddha, roll my life. Oh baby girl, you got a fire and you let it burn. Gonna make mistakes, I don't give up. Water off a duck, live and learn. Sooner or later, some babe haters gonna try to knock you down. But you're a goddess, babe. And you got this, babe. Ooh, you gotta do what you feel. Ooh, now tell me, what do you feel? You got no need to appeal to no one. Yeah, you got it, babe. You got this, babe. Ooh, do you wanna be free? You already got what you need. Ooh, no apologies to no one. Yeah, we got it, babe. We got this, babe.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
What's popping, y'all?
And who is that, Brian? We have to make sure Brian's mic works because he's going to be like,
yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Big part of the show.
It's sort of like a compilation.
Okay.
It's from Holiday Music Motel, and it's from the album called Love on a Holiday Volume 8.
Okay.
And so yeah.
It's like a now that's what I call music for the holidays.
For holiday music.
Pretty much.
It didn't sound very holiday themed.
I was gonna say it didn't feel that holiday. I mean, but see, you like holiday music. You like that?
It did have a few off-color comments in there, so that was all right.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
I missed part of those.
It was a Brian song. You could tell. It was about something.
Oh.
All right. So now we've come to the part of the show that's called the rundown. This is where we tell you about some stuff that's going on in the news. If we were real news professionals, it would sound a little something like this.
Go Blue.
Thank you.
Balls.
That is
From Beltway Radio and beyond in Washington, D.C., I'm Emmy-nominated TV newsman and just bona fide sexual beast, J. Scott Smith. And this is the part of the show where I tell some stuff about maybe not me, but somebody else is going to tell some stuff about what's happening in the news. So what's going on in the news, fellas?
Thanks, Jay. Don't forget to check him out on Channel 4 in Detroit on the weekends. He's the weekend anchor now, and that's all because of the Chip Chat bump. All right. So
Better than cocaine.
that's much.
Sorry.
It's gonna be great for his ratings.
Regain your show back. Take your show back.
He is never gonna want to be friends with us anymore.
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead. No,
I know.
let's see if we can ruin his career after we've built it up for so long.
The ChipChat bump. I mean, look.
You can't deny it. It's
Can't
real.
deny it.
Look
Yeah.
at all these successful people.
You go higher.
That's right. My bell needs a bump.
The bell bump. Okay, oh yeah, it's not belling.
It's not belling. I'm doing something wrong. I don't know. All right, here's what we want to talk about. So, like, a lot of people could have guessed, like, here's some bad shit that's going to happen with Donald Trump in charge of the country, right? And like, you could have guessed that people would lose their health insurance, people are going to lose food stamps, the farmers are all going to have their crops burned in front of their eyes and made to watch it. Those things are like expected under a Trump administration, you know.
Brift.
Like, yeah. Oh yeah, Trump phones and like gold bars and like the $1 million citizenship card or whatever.
Yeah. The what do you call it? What the cut the air base that we're gonna have, or you know?
Yeah, the Qatari air base in Idaho.
Yeah,
you know, that's all. That part we all kind of like expected. It's not good, but it's what we expected. I did not have piracy on my bingo card. It did not occur to me that one of the things that Donald Trump would do is use the U.S. Navy, Coast Guard, and FBI to just sail around and snatch people's ships full of oil. But that's what we're doing. So here's what's happened. There is a ship. It's gone by several names. It used to be called, let's see, the Odessa, maybe. And I think it's got another name now, the Skipper. And yeah, and it's sister ship Gilligan. So
right. Exactly.
Here's the thing about ships, right? Like, you think, oh, these are big. How can anybody hide them? You can't really be sneaky with something that big. That's not true. They're very small compared to the ocean. And it's very easy to hide them because you got to find them. And the open ocean is huge. And so ships have transponders and communication gear on them that like sort of broadcast who they are and kind of where they're going and all of that stuff, which is necessary for safe navigation.
Right.
If you think of it like air traffic control, there's the same thing in the ocean. Consequences are a little different, right? Things are moving a lot slower, but they are huge.
Right.
And force is mass times acceleration. You don't have a lot of acceleration, but you sure should have a lot of mass. So you got to be careful about this stuff. And a few feet in one direction makes all the difference. So that's why they have all this gear on. Well, what the Skipper or Odessa or whatever it is has been doing is it's been moving oil and fuel around to various places that are under sanction. This is the story. We don't know how true any of this is, but this is what we've been told by OFAC, which is the Defense Department's Office of Foreign Asset Control. So their job is to like enforce sanctions essentially. And sanctions are when the United States uses its economic might to push other countries around and say, if you want to be able to do business in a global market, you better behave yourself or we're going to make it very difficult for money and or stuff to move through the things that we control, which in some cases is apparently the open ocean.
Yeah,
so
nominally, you know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay, sure. Well, we're the ones with the big Navy. So
we
that's
are
how
the
that
ones
works.
who do control the big. We don't.
You have the big fleet. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this ship has been going back and forth between maybe Iran and Venezuela and Cuba. And these, you know, these places aren't close together. This thing's on the water for weeks at a time. And it's been hiding by hooking up its transponder to like a buoy that it left floating off the coast of Venezuela. And it's like, hey, I'm just sitting here. And as far as the digital world knows, that's where the ship is. Right. And it's just sailing around without its transponders. Or maybe it's got another one. Who knows? But it's out here kind of like hiding in plain sight with under a different name, for lack of a better way to explain it. So the U.S. Navy and the Coast Guard and they filmed it. Of course, they filmed it with drones. They flew helicopters out over where this ship was, and they landed on it and like filmed themselves walking around and captured the crew, at gunpoint, and then held them. And they're like, "We are the captain now." And then they took the ship, and the rest of the world was like, "Whoa, what the fuck are you doing? Just taking this ship?" And the United States government was like, "Well, it's under sanctions." And the rest of the world was like, "Well, what's your legal justification for taking the ship?" And the U.S. government was like, "Shut up." And they were like, no. Why are you taking the ship? And Trump was like, shut up. Shut up.
Legal justification. We don't do that.
Fuck your legal justification. And then they go, well, what are you going to do with all the oil on the ship? And he goes, I guess we're going to keep it. So, not that I want to agree with the Maduro government on much.
Right.
But this does look like a pretty open and shut case of piracy. Like,
nothing's gonna be done about it.
Who's gonna stop them?
That's what I was gonna say. Nothing's gonna be done about that. So
we just had Pearl Harbor Day, right? That's the last time anybody tried to do anything to the U.S. Navy and didn't go very well for them.
No, it actually forced the whole country to go to actually join a war they had no business. They had no interest in joining.
Japan could have got away with raping and pillaging all of East Asia if they
all of it
left
all of
Hawaii alone.
Europe could have been terrible. Actually, it would have been
it
would have been everything would have been. It would have been crazy if that didn't happen. Actually, kind of thank God that they.
It's terrible that all those people got killed or whatever. Yeah. But if that didn't happen, the United States might not have gotten in the war, and the world would look very different. So
very different. So
it's one of those things where it's history isn't good or bad; it just is. And
it is exactly.
But
this is clearly piracy. And
I mean, what else could you possibly call it? And what is this legal? And of course, they use all their favorite words, like, oh yeah, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard and Hezbollah and Cuba. Are we still on Cuba? Like, what is this? Like, oh, Cuba what is this? 1965? What are we doing here?
Yeah,
stealing people's oil.
Yeah,
it did cause my gas prices to go up by like 30 cents at my local station. By the way. Like, this rocked global oil markets, like, in a way that we really haven't seen before, because there are things that mess with global markets. And some of it is about, shipping, right? When the Houthis were shooting at stuff and making it difficult to move things, or the Iranians looked like they were going to block off the Straits of Hormuz and all that kind of stuff. That does mess with the price of oil. But nobody had figured that the United States would stop defending free navigation on the high seas and switch to piracy.
I better not hear shit about anybody from Somalian
right?
pirates. I better not hear any shit about anything, because what the hell is this?
Do you know why the Marine hymn talks about the shores of Tripoli? Like, what were Marines doing in Libya at the beginning of the country's birth? You know what they were doing? They were fighting pirates, the Barbary pirates. These guys were out here capturing ships off the coast of North Africa in the Mediterranean, and the U.S. Navy and the Marines were like, no, you're not doing that anymore. And they sailed over there, and they landed on the shores of Tripoli in Libya and killed all the Barbary pirates, and we're like, back to free navigation of the seas. That's the first foreign engagement the United States had. And now we are the ones doing the piracy.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly the response to that.
If you've got a Jolly Roger, you may as well flip your U.S. flag and just fly that,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Does this mean that the next election is going to be between, of course, Donald Trump and Captain Jack Sparrow?
Clearly.
Yeah. No, I'm voting for Johnny Depp.
Yeah.
All right. So this one might be something that you know a little bit about. So Tez, you're not a real American. You're a new American, right? That's
Yeah.
I think
guess
that's what they call that, right? Isn't that
New
that's not
American.
the term?
New American.
No, okay, but not real American. I don't know what did we use? Tea
Yeah, no.
drinker. You're one of
a tea drinker.
I don't know
We're
what to call
one
British
step away
people.
from calling me a limey.
Limey, yeah.
Yeah.
Limey. You limey bastard.
That's where we're one. There it is.
Look, we won those wars. We get to call England whatever we want. That's how that works. Now you get to say we.
Well, yeah, I do.
Okay.
Say that.
So when you became a U.S. citizen, after you went through all there's a whole process, right? You don't just like show up and fill out a form and be like, I'd like to be an American now.
Yeah, no, there's a whole process. Mine started right before COVID, so COVID kind of put it like but I still got it. It was still done through COVID. But yeah, no, you pay a decent amount of money, and then you fill out a lot of paperwork and you send in all types of information about yourself. I mean, I feel like it was easier for me because I've been here for so long. I have a job and all these other things. Yeah, and I had a green card. So, but like as I'm reading, like when it says like extensive interviews, like they're doing background checks and shit like that. But the interview didn't feel like when I did it, it didn't feel crazy. It just was real basic. But I also wonder, like, they look at me and be like, why the hell is this person here?
Yeah, well, they can't, right? Why not? Why is he here in the country? But like, why is he here for this interview?
Exactly. Right. Like, where did this?
Because everything about you says kid from DC.
Kid from DC, full-blooded American.
Yeah,
it's all outside the paperwork. But I could see. I mean, because they have the test and they ask you like, what were we fighting the Cold War about? It's like, oh shit! Like it was funny to me. Some of the questions I was like. We were fighting against communism, but that's not for a lot of people though.
Correct.
Yes, correct. Yeah, a lot of people. They not even a lot of people. A lot of Americans would not be able to pass.
So that's the thing that everybody likes to point out is that most native-born Americans could not pass the citizenship test, which I know to be true because one of the things during the Obama administration that happened was that the Smithsonian, specifically the American History Museum, partnered with INS at the time. It was called INS to create study guides for people who were going to be taking the naturalization test. And I thought that was really cool. And I thought, well, let's test ourselves. Everybody I know, let's see how well we do. I, of course, aced it. And, but most people did not. And then the study guides were really cool because they didn't just like give you the answers and like do that, but they were incorporated the exhibits from the museum. So
put like instead of context behind it,
instead of just talking about, well, like TJ wrote the Declaration, they would show you the Declaration, and then they had like all of these exhibits of like the house in Philadelphia where he was sitting and doing a lot of his work and stuff, and he brought his enslaved people with him for that, Sally and them. And there was, well, she was there, she helped write. She's maybe wrote half of it. Who knows? But there, it was more interactive, and I found it much more engaging than just reading about it, right? In a textbook. So, but anyway, okay. So you took the test, and then what ultimately ends up happening?
Then there's a naturalization process. Mine was like there's like a ceremony because they'll prove it for you, and then you'll get your naturalization document. So you turn in your green card, and then you get your, which is the same number as well too. It's just now you're an American citizen. It becomes your passport number. I'm pretty sure it's my passport number. But yeah, you go through the process. Mine was very weird because I did this the week after January 6th.
Yes,
I remember. It was the next Wednesday. And I was like, no one believes in this oath of allegiance, and I'm signing up. All these people in here are saying an allegiance. It's actually it's one of the more crazier things I've been a part of because I obviously I'm a part of it. Like, but I also felt somewhat removed from it because I already felt American in the sense, but like. also being part of it and like going through, it's like, oh, we are all doing this as a ceremony to actually like become part of a nation, and it's a unique thing. Like
It is.
it's
There's
a
not
just
many places that have something like this.
something like this. It's a very and it was just all walks of life that were in there, and then people were really excited. And yeah, I have a big Sharpie signature on mine, which I'm very thankful for. So whenever they try to take it away, I'm like, "You gave this to me, sir."
Yeah,
All
right.
right. Yeah, all right. Look here.
It's
I like
got
gold.
his signature on it. But like one of the things that I everybody I know who's gone through this, one of the things that they like to highlight is everybody in there is making an active choice.
Yes.
That, I didn't choose to be an American citizen. I was born in the capital. That's what the DC stands for in Washington, DC. And I was born here. And so then, and I,
one of the greatest amendments ever put, one of the
because
greatest,
of the 14th Amendment,
greatest words probably ever written on paper.
I'm just a U.S. citizen because I was born here. I didn't have to make an active choice. I didn't have to pass any tests. I didn't have to do shit. I happen to have embraced it, right? I like being an American citizen, and I like, being a Washingtonian, and I like my sports teams and all of that kind of stuff. And I like mumbo sauce, and it's like that part of it that worked for me.
Yeah.
But I don't have to make that active choice. Whereas you didn't have to do that either. You could have stayed LPR if you wanted to.
I did think about that after the actions that happened the week prior. It was very jarring to be like, wait, hold on. What am I signing up for?
Well, because you had to give up your other one, right?
No, I still have my British. I'm a dual citizen, but even then it's just kind of like, all right, like, but then I think I think a lot of people in the room also pay my money, so then I'm not getting my money back, so I better go through this anyways. Right. But also it's like, if you believe in the democracy, right, the small d democracy, like, all right, let me, because I couldn't vote, right?
Right.
That's a huge thing for years.
You had taxation without representation.
Yeah. For years, since I was a child, right? Since I came to this country, I've never been able to vote, or since being a voting age, I haven't been able to vote. So yeah, that's important. And yeah, like I think, I think that this can be overblown at times, but I do find like the immigrants who come and migrate to the United States, they believe in a lot of those words in the Constitution, in the Declaration of Independence, like. There's a belief in that, and it's the only way those words are true is by the participation in the actual democracy.
That's right.
So you have to do that.
So all of this is to say, here is this thing that happened in a lot of places, but we're going to spotlight in Boston. Okay. Faneuil Hall. You may know this place. It's pretty famous. It's where the Sons of Liberty used to meet, and where like Paul Revere was riding to tell everybody about the British were coming and all of that stuff. And like, this is kind of the birthplace of the American Revolution. And
which is a great documentary on PBS right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gotta see that.
While PBS still exists. Right. So one of the things that the Immigration Service does is sometimes they do these ceremonies in kind of important places or historic places, or they'll have dignitaries, often like governors or county commissioners, or
mine was scheduled for July. I thought I was going to get the July 4th one, to be honest, but then COVID happened. But yeah,
so like, sometimes it's the president, sometimes it's senators, who do the swearing in, and they make a big deal about it. So here we have an example where at this historic place, there were a bunch of people who had already gone through the whole process, and they were on their way to go take the oath where they swear in and say they're going to be American citizens. All of these people had already had that document switch that you were talking about, right?
Yep.
So they were already on paper American citizens. They just hadn't taken their oath of allegiance yet. And they were gonna go there. They were gonna do their swearing in, and then they're gonna get a photo, with them, get the thing and smiling, and they're gonna put it on their wall, and it's gonna be a big deal, and they're gonna remember it forever, and they're gonna talk to their grandkids about it. So here's an example. This is a woman. She's from Haiti. Like you, she had been here for a really long time. She'd been here since the early 2000s. She had a job. She was, had a green card. She was basically American at this point, right? And just working and all of this stuff. And she showed up to do her oath again because she's a true believer in the United States and everything that they represent, that the country represents. And as she's in line to go into the building, ICE shows up and plucks her out of line because she's from one of those shithole countries. And they did this all over the country. They use USIS, which is the immigration
custom or not custom
U.S. Citizen and Immigration Services, USIS, right? Their job is the paperwork. They're the naturalization guys. They're not the ICE guys. They're not Customs and Border. Their job is to make citizens and green card holders and whatever. They played ball with ICE. They're part of the same organization and basically told ICE where all of the people who were born in these other countries, there was a particular list of countries. You're going to notice something interesting about them.
I wonder what.
And they told them where all of these people were going to be to do their naturalization because, of course, they were the ones who set the appointments. And then none of them got to do their oath. And maybe some of them are going to get deported, even though they've gone through the whole process and been vetted and been granted citizenship.
Yeah.
You want to know the list? You ready? See if you can spot something about this list.
Can I guess a few? Sorry.
Yo, go ahead.
You
want to guess? Go ahead. Guess a few.
I know you just said Afghanistan. So I'm assuming, obviously, Haiti. I think we're going to go with where in Africa they're not letting people from.
There's some obvious, easy answers of like these countries are always on the shit list.
What, like North Korea, something like that?
No.
Oh, no. Interesting.
No. Because Little Rocket Man is buddies
with him. Okay.
Yeah.
Where else are we letting people in from?
Not letting people in from.
What are we not letting people in from?
Who are we always think we're at war with?
Who
or about to be at war with?
China? No. We're letting Chinese in. No.
Yeah, of course. Yeah,
of course,
their money.
Yeah. Shit. Iran's got to be on there.
Yep,
right?
Iran for sure.
What else we got?
Think of another long-time U.S. enemy.
Long time?
Yeah.
Not letting folks in from
unless they play baseball.
Oh God, Cuba?
Yep, of course.
Okay, of course. Cuba. Oh yeah, of course. There's Cuba's on there.
Yep.
It's like any randoms like Trinidad on there or something. Like
there are some randoms, and then there's a third one that's like another longtime U.S. boogeyman. Although it's telling my age that this is a place that like sort of represents the bad guy world. But I'll give you a hint. Gaddafi.
Oh, Libya.
Yeah. So like the big ones, obviously Iran, Libya, Cuba, Haiti. Those are like Americans never going to let them in. But
we did let Cubans in at one point.
Only if they get 1 foot on.
1 foot on, yeah.
That's
we're white. Well,
yeah. Well, yeah. Or have intel. Okay, so then so Afghanistan, we've got Myanmar / Burma, Chad. I don't know. There's a lot of people coming here from Chad, but
I think there's a lot. Yeah.
Why are we like, no, we don't want any of these Chadians around. Congo. That was one of the wars that he solved that apparently is not, because the M23 took an entire city yesterday. So, that's FIFA fixed it. Let's see. Equatorial Guinea. Ask Trump to find that on a map. Eritrea. That's sort of also along, which then dovetails with Somalia.
That's an interesting one because I feel like there was a time where we were.
We were taking a lot of Eritreans when they were letting us build a base there and fighting the Ethiopians and Somalis.
Right.
So Horn of Africa is well represented here. We've got Eritrea, we've got Somalia, we've got Sudan, and Yemen, which is right off the coast there across. So let's call that part of the group. And then there's also Burundi, which again is part of the things that Trump claims to have solved, hasn't solved. Cuba, Laos, a lot of Laotian immigrants coming here. I
don't
think I
so.
actually know anybody from Laos.
Me either. I was gonna say, I don't know.
Sierra Leone. I know a lot of Sierra Leone Americans, people who are from there, who live here now, who are citizens. A lot of them, and I would be really upset if they were not here. So thank goodness most of them are here. But okay, Togo. So remember our friend Jack?
Yeah.
Thank goodness he's already here because
Right.
his cousin's not coming. And then we're gonna round it out with Turkmenistan and of course our new favorite target, Venezuela.
Of course.
Yeah, we don't want
this is despicable, to be honest. I mean, it's
look at the damage this could do to the major leagues. You're not letting anybody from Cuba or Venezuela or I mean, that's bad for baseball, man.
Yeah,
we need Venezuelan ball players.
I just how demoralizing is that to go? I mean, because it is a process, and then you're there to take that oath of allegiance.
It's a setup, man. They went through this whole thing to become Americans. They're on the radar loudly. Here I am. You know, there's all this. Well,
you've given them so much information, like
all of this bullshit about people who are like, well, my ancestors came here the right way. Why can't they do it the right way? This is the most right way to do it.
Yeah.
And then they got pinched in line to get their stuff.
No, I mean, I'm thankful that I did this when I did. Because I mean, that could easily be me.
It could
easily.
And then I'd have to go through the co-host process again, and that is a pain in the ass.
It's a pain in the ass, man.
I'm not doing that.
Though I'm pretty sure my government name probably masked me. I got far enough that people were confused when I got it. Like, oh, what the hell?
That's true.
That might,
and the way
on paper, it could confuse a lot of people.
Well, and then in real life, the way you look and sound also would confuse.
Like, oh, what the hell is going on? Why?
Everything about you is an enigma, Tez.
It really is. That's a sad story. That's a really. I don't know.
We have some happy news to turn this around. Okay.
Yes.
Friend of the show, one of our favorite people to watch in Congress, Jasmine Crockett.
Oh yeah, she
announced that she is running for Senate in Texas. All of this is because Colin Allred dropped out, so he's not running.
And I guess this also could be part of the redistricting as well, too, right? Because she was going to.
Well, it's the Senate, so
she was going to.
Her district was probably not going to be affected.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
I mean, it would have been, but she would have still won it because they couldn't draw all the Democrats out. But there is this thing. Okay, so the Republicans are having a primary for this Senate seat right now, which is mostly between John Cornyn, who's the incumbent, and Kenny Paxton, who is the felon. I'm sorry, challenger. He is also a felon. He's committed securities fraud. Also abused his staff, cheated on his wife. She divorced him. She's a state senator, by the way. He's been impeached, but then he survived the impeachment hearing, and then he put out a hit on several of the state representatives in Texas that voted to impeach him. But they were unsuccessful because everybody in Texas is heavily armed. So that just didn't work. So Jasmine Crockett is running. She is a congresswoman. Before that, she was, I think, a district attorney. She's a lawyer by trade. That's her actual thing. That's why she's so good at like getting people to slip up and say the wrong thing. And she's really good at that. But this has this sort of like weird twist on it. There's also another person running, which is James Tallarico, who is a state assemblyman, and he is pretty popular too. So the Republicans have really gotten heavy into backing Crockett because they want a fractious Democratic primary the way their primary is going. And, you know, I'm not sure I know a lot of daylight policy-wise between the two Democrats in this case, and I don't think it really makes any difference as long as everybody agrees to like support the other one if they lose.
I mean, Crockett though is a proven fundraiser though.
That's the thing. She can generate money like crazy.
Yeah.
And she's got a huge national profile, so she's probably going to get the national support, which is fine. I mean,
the ad that I seen was with that was for the national audience. Is the Instagram.
Yeah.
That one was for, but like, yeah, this is going to be an interesting race. I would.
Do you think she can win if she wins the primary? Do you think she can beat either Cornyn or Paxton?
That would be tough. It would be an upset of the year.
If a Democrat won in Texas, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, it doesn't even sound plausible, but I think.
Are there enough Katrina refugees in Houston?
Yeah, I was going to say, is there a strategy of the new residents of Texas that have flooded in there over the last like 5-6 years?
Flooded?
Oh God, sorry, that's not good. That's not good.
And specifically the new black residents. Let's be clear about that.
I mean, I don't think the numbers would still match up though to get her over the line. She's going to need to get a lot of white Texans, right, to do this.
If Cornyn wins the primary on their side, that may suppress enough. If Trump has been pretty pro Paxton, explicitly. Yeah. If he gets mad enough at Cornyn and tells people to stay home, he could shoot himself in the foot here and give Crockett a chance. I think it's a long shot.
It's a long shot,
to be honest.
But
it's a long shot. Beto couldn't do it.
But I'm excited that this is like it's just a different approach, because her approach is different than a lot of the rest of the Democrats.
And her approach is the thing that we've talked about on the show that we kind of really need, is that we need somebody who's aggressive, who calls them by their name and is not afraid and is a fighter. And it's not that there is a big policy difference again between Crockett and any of the rest of the mainstream Democratic Party. It's just the way that she conducts it.
Yeah.
That she sets those verbal traps and waits for somebody. And I just can't wait for the bumper stickers about beach blonde, bad butch body, whatever. And how much money she can raise off of that. And maybe this is a cash move, right? We get Crockett running, people donate to her. She's going to lose. Right. We can redirect that money to other races where somebody can win. Who knows, but we'll see.
A strong politician. I mean,
she's strong at everything. Yeah. I love the videos. Watching her in committee is just some of the best. Yeah, it's made for phone video, and it's just great. Absolutely. Okay. Do you want to just do the Miami stuff and then we can do the clip game?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So since you're nominally Cuban, that makes you an expert on Miami, which is Cuba.
I listen to a decent amount of Miami stuff. So yeah, a lot of South Florida. I love Billy Corbin. He's one of my favorite people out down there. So
South Florida talk radio is some of the most incredible stuff you could ever listen to. Yes. And I will tell you, South Florida Spanish language radio,
off the chain,
is wild.
They get away because no one knows what the hell's going on.
Nobody knows what they're saying.
They get away with murder.
I don't think I have ever heard a more racist environment than South Florida Spanish language talk radio. And I'm going to qualify that by saying I have personally spoken to the Klansman who shot up the JCC in Kansas City before he did that several times. I have his phone number. He's dead now, but I had his phone number and I had lots of conversations with him because I thought it was funny. And then it turns out that was maybe not funny.
Maybe not.
But even that is not as racist and crazy as South Florida Spanish language radio. It is a wild place. Okay, anyway. What happened in Miami?
Got a Democrat mayor.
Yeah, and a woman.
Yeah.
And she's white.
Yeah.
That's none of the things. Miami is a majority Latino city, or I should say majority immigrant city, 57%.
What do they call it? Majority minority.
Well, 57% of the population of Miami was not born in the United States. Let's say that. But yeah, and they mostly elect Republican men of of Latin descent. That is who they have elected for 28 years in a row, and
always marred in corruption.
And then of course, like wildly corrupt. And everyone runs on an anti-corruption campaign.
The city commission down there is insane. Actually, if you've ever watched any of their it's insane. So there's a lot of whether it's the Joe Carollos and all the what's the other guy that's down there? God, why am I blanking? Who ran for president? Suarez.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, this is characters in Miami, in South Florida.
Yeah,
there are characters there.
So one of them, who was Miami-Dade County, City of Miami, city commissioner, was this Eileen Higgins, and she won, and she didn't win by a little bit. She had a lot. She won 59%. And to 59 to 41. That's a whooping. That's a qualified whooping. And Miami hasn't had a Democrat in a generation, and they haven't had a woman ever. And that she won by that kind of margin, it was a nationalized campaign, as many things are now becoming. But add that to Spanberger absolutely cleaning Sears's clock. Add that to Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey. Add that to Democratic gains in all of these other special elections, statewide races in Virginia, of course. There's the beginning of a blue wave. We have to figure out how to not fuck it up.
I mean, well, there's two things there, right? It's all from Billy Corbett. He always says, he's like, the Miami of today is the America of tomorrow. So maybe that's a good thing. Maybe we're finally shifting to the different way. But to your point, right? The Democrats never miss an opportunity right? So I don't know. We'll see.
Snatch defeat from the jaws of victory every time.
Yeah, every time. I don't know. It doesn't seem to be. So I don't know. But yeah, this is big.
It's big. The only way to keep this from getting from screwing it up is to find a way to distract Chuck Schumer for the next 6 years, and just like, hey, go check that out over there, and then just what? And then he just disappears and doesn't do anything. Chuck Schumer is bad for elections. For us.
Yeah.
Okay, let's also talk about Miami. Now, this is another little bit of Miami. As you may know, there's a professional sports team masquerading as a university called Thug U. I think that's called. No, University of Miami.
Miami. That's my college football team this year that I picked. That's my team.
What's their thing? They do like this, right? They do the U. The U. Paper football. Field goal. They do it with their hands. Yeah.
Yep.
So Miami is a school. They play in the ACC, which is a conference. Notre Dame is also a school. They do not play in the ACC or any conference because they think they're special. And they have this deal with NBC that pays them for all their games, so they don't need to play in a conference because they have an unlimited amount of money. So the thing that matters here, we can talk about these other schools, but I would rather not. Is that Notre Dame played Miami week one.
Week one.
Now, traditionally, schools that have conference affiliation play their out-of-conference games, most of them the first 3 weeks of the season. Occasionally, there's some where they have to do it in the middle of the season to make the schedule work or whatever. SEC is kind of notorious for that. But, you play your out-of-conference games early. And there's two schools of thought on this. One is you play tomato cans so you can just tune up and you treat it like a preseason because you're just going to beat the shit out of these guys. And they're happy to let you do it because they get to be on TV and get paid. Yeah. And then the other school of thought is now that strength of schedule matters so much into getting into the playoffs is you want to schedule a big out-of-conference game against another big team that is also in a big conference because if you win, then it really looks good for your strength of schedule come playoff time. So in Michigan's case, right, we played Oklahoma this year. We lost. But
the reason we do that,
Yeah, last year we played Texas. who we're playing in our bowl game this year in the Citrus Bowl, which now is going to get a lot more complicated. But we're all injured anyway. It's probably not going to matter. And Arch sucks. So I guess we get to watch him suck against us, and our sucks defense. Wink sucks. I hate everything about what's happening in Ann Arbor right now. So like that's one school of thought. Notre Dame, they're not in a conference.
No.
So they get to make their own schedule all the time.
And they make their schedule very uniquely. We'll say that.
Yeah, they make a cupcake schedule for themselves all the time. They never play anybody hard. So this like one opportunity for them to play against a good team, Miami, who had a great year last year, did well in the transfer portal, was odds on to win the ACC, and looked really good. Miami beat them, and they beat them badly, and then went undefeated for a good chunk of the season before they finally lost. And like, so then Notre Dame went undefeated for the rest of the season after that loss because they played nobody. They didn't play anybody hard. They didn't even play any of their traditional rivals, and they just like cruised through. So when we got to the playoff selection, right, there's the automatic bids from the conference wins, the conference champions, and then there's the at-large bids. You got to make this up, and Notre Dame missed the cut. JMU and Tulane made the cut, right? And everybody says, of course, that this was all about Alabama, who had several losses and got blown out in their conference final, making a spot for them. But you'll notice, look up there on that bracket, Brian, put it back up there. Number 10, who's that?
It's Miami.
That's Miami. They're in.
Yeah.
You know who's not in?
Should be Notre Dame.
Right. Because Miami beat them. And to make sure that everybody knew that, the ACC network played that game in a rerun on repeat for almost 24 hours in a row.
There was an offensive that the Miami supporters, the boosters, and all of them went on because I thought that Miami was not going to make it. I thought they were going to get, especially with the movement of Alabama there.
Right.
Because Alabama is probably the team that shouldn't be there, I would say.
Well, Miami made a good case that the two winners of the AC, or the conference finals of the ACC, Virginia and Duke won. Right.
Yeah.
So Duke had like 5 losses. There was no reason to have Duke in the playoff as an automatic bid. You should pick the team that had the better record out of that conference, and that was a good argument. Nobody wants to watch Duke play football.
No.
I mean, they may as well want to watch American play football. Nobody wants to watch that. That is not.
I have an issue with that, but
Brian watches American.
I would rather go to the clip game later, so
because that's
we'll
his
move
job.
on.
Yeah, I thought they just play frisbee or whatever at American. They play basketball.
Jeez, leave him alone.
They have girls rugby. I know that.
Number one, the playoff system hasn't solved the issues that we've had.
Still the same problem.
The same shit that we had with the old BCS. And then, obviously now it's come to light with the deal Notre Dame has around, like, if they win, what is it? If they're winning 12 games.
Yeah. If they win 12 games, they're in no matter what.
No matter what. Yeah.
That's the deal that they made because they're not in a conference. So they didn't get in, and they made this crazy announcement. They're like, well, we're not going to play a bowl game either. Fuck you guys. It's so sour grapes, and like, oh, well, I'm taking my ball and going home. I've heard so many people try to make these arguments about how the bowl system is dead, and like, why would they do a bowl, and none of their players who are any good are going to want to play because they're all trying to protect it so they don't get hurt before they get drafted, blah, blah, blah. That's stupid. Okay, the playoff is for like 12 teams. The bowl system, as it expanded, leaves half the kids winners. It's a good system. Yeah, it's flush with money. Some of these little schools,
all meant for TV.
Right. It gives us as
the
fans.
Playoff is only for TV. It's a TV special.
It is that, but the bowl system puts lots of TV, and I get to watch it, and I love it. And it's fun. And like some of these little schools that get to play in these bowls, this is the kids, their only chance to go on a big trip, maybe to go to Hawaii or go to Florida or go to some place
Right.
that they would never get to go to otherwise. They get treated like rock stars. They get to, half of them get to win. That's how football works. Half of the teams have to win. And they get to be on TV. They get to showcase every once in a while. It changes somebody's career. But also these schools, that's their cash infusion for the year, right? They're not in a big conference. They're not going to get a lot of TV money otherwise. This is their chance. Why take that away? And then Notre Dame to be like, oh, well, we're not getting our special cookie. We're like, fuck you guys, man. You're not that special. You're just not. Get in a conference like everybody else. If Duke can win their way through a conference, you can get in a join the MAC. I don't care.
This pussy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Soft. Notre Dame is soft. All right, let's finish out the sports stuff. We'll do the fun thing first, which is Pete Alonso.
Polar Bears made it.
Polar Bear is coming to Baltimore.
Damn it, man!
That was a shocker.
I'm not mad about it.
I knew he wasn't coming to the Nationals, but I would have taken him there.
I'm not mad about it. That lineup looks pretty fierce right now.
Why would you be mad with Pete Alonso? As much as I hate him as a fucking Met, I respect him as a fucking baseball player.
Because the thing is, this is a big money slugger, and it smells of Albert Bell and I
think this is different.
But this is different. This is somebody who is, and even when he can't play first or whatever anymore, you can DH him and switch him off with Rutch, and that's I love it. I think it makes room to trade Rutch, to be honest, but I would not like that. I want to keep him. But I saw that Sadie Mullins was back out on the market too, so maybe we can get him to come back. I know nobody else wants that.
I thought he was going to.
He's going to Tampa. I thought. Yeah, but I don't know. There's room. I want him back. I need that glove in center, man. There's nobody like that. I don't care that he doesn't hit all the time. Sometimes you make a play for defense, I mean, it does exist. And Gunner's playing on the World Baseball Classic team for US, but he's playing third. So you make your choices. It all works out. But hey, it's great. It's a good day to be an Orioles fan. It's a good week to be an Orioles fan. It's good, big news. It's clear that all this criticism about, oh, well, they're not going to spend the money, to really make the change. They're spending the money.
That's money spent.
That is money, right? It's not Ohtani money, but it's not Ohtani money. That's money.
That's money.
So thank you to Mr. Rubenstein for opening that checkbook and bringing a polar bear to Baltimore. And I cannot wait to see him in orange and black. And it's going to be fantastic. I'm just thrilled to bits about that. Which means that we now have to do this thing that I don't want to do, which is talk about Sherrone Moore.
And we probably should stay away from the speculation because there's a lot of speculation.
Here's the only thing that we know.
Yeah.
AD Ward Manuel fired him for cause, said that their investigation showed that he had an inappropriate relationship with a staff member that worked for him. There's all kinds of, again, speculation about whether her pay got doubled or all of this other kind of thing. So that was bad. And I was apoplectic and like, no, we can't be this because this is the thing that I've been throwing at Michigan State for all this time. And Mel Tucker's a creeper. And
4 hours later.
And then 4 hours later, it got measurably worse.
Yeah.
When my phone lit up with a million messages saying that Sherrone Moore had been arrested. And I was like, for what? And apparently he went over to the house of this girl, of the side piece, who's not his wife and mother of his children, and like flipped out. I guess maybe he was threatening to kill himself. I'm not really sure what it. I mean, clearly everything's unraveling for this guy. And, you know, there's a lot of stuff flying, right? Oh, the investigation got more conclusive after he lost to Ohio. That's one of the things I heard.
Yes.
I heard people saying that, you know, obviously Harbaugh knew about my wife even was like, oh, well, Harbaugh had to have known about this. He must have been doing this forever. And I was like, I hadn't even thought of that. But no, don't you dare slander Harbaugh like he's somehow
he got out. He got out. He's got out.
Yeah, but you know, people are like, how does the theory goes like this, and I don't think it's wrong. If he did it now, he didn't just wake up at 39 years old and go, you know what I should do? I should creep on my staff. He obviously had been doing it, and it required that everybody around him look the other way or at least didn't know about it. And that's the nicest way to put it.
Yeah.
Which I don't like knowing that. I don't want to, if you'd asked me where I was a year ago, right? I'm like, okay, we got this young guy. He's younger than me. It's the first time we've had a head coach who's younger than me, who is descended of Harbaugh, right? Who came up from that system, was worked with him for years before he took on that head coach job, had already beaten Ohio twice, knew, was recruiting well, had brought Bryce Underwood to the team, like so many. And I was like, and he's 39, he's going to be here forever.
Around.
And we can be this dynasty. We've got the NIL money. We've got everything what we need to do to be this dynastic powerhouse of a team. And then this fucking thing. And you can't, guys, what are you doing?
Is it kind of sad to say that, remember several years ago, this happened to the Michigan State head coach?
That's what I'm saying. I was throwing the shade at Mel Tucker, right? Remember, Michigan State had a problem with being creepy because Larry Nassar and all the other creepy stuff. So they brought in a consultant to teach the athletic staff how to not be creepy. And what did Mel Tucker do, the head coach of the Spartans? He creeped on her.
Out. Yeah, creeped out on the.
That's the worst person to do that to. And he did it by text message too, which is very obvious and easily recordable, you fucking moron. And they bought him out. They didn't fire him. They bought him out. They paid him $85 million to not coach in East Lansing. Now, they're not paying him nothing.
No.
They fired him clean because they had an investigation that proved it. Now, look, I could go all conspiracy.
And they clearly knew he was getting I don't know. They knew there was obviously information that was floating around that they were like, oh, no, we have to end this now.
Because the girl was about to go public with it.
Probably. Yeah, you gotta end this now. And you ain't beat freaking Ohio State. So because if maybe
Ohio, they'd have buried it.
It would have buried 100%. It, or at the very least, it wouldn't have been an immediate fire.
It would have been, we have to do a more detailed investigation. Yeah. Now the conspiracy, of course, that I am working out in my head is this was a honeypot trap set by Ryan Day and fucking Ohio to ruin our lives. And they hired they got this woman to go work there, and they put her up to it, and they paid her to do it, and more tried to be a gallant stand-up celibate nice
where's the clip game? Get this shit out of here. This
head coach. And then he was ultimately ruined by this vast racist conspiracy to damage the career of an upstanding young black man who was going to take a great institution to victory. That's
what the fuck, y'all? God!
Yeah, I know. Even as I'm saying it, I realize how ridiculous I sound, but I don't. That's how I feel. I hate this.
Yeah, so what a way to end the season.
Everything sucks.
Yeah,
this is like the most depressing thing.
That's what he was saying.
Oh. All right, so just to be clear, for the record, I'm sad about this. I don't have a good answer. I'm not going to fight it. Everybody's going to throw all this shit at me for this happening and me being, the ultimate homer or whatever. I don't care. I mean, I don't deserve the derision. That's for sure. I didn't commit this.
You didn't do anything wrong.
I didn't do anything wrong, but I feel guilty by association. And I don't like that.
Yeah.
Ugh. Okay. Let's take a break and then do the clip game. Can I wash this out of my face for a minute?
Yeah, sure. Look,
let's take a quick break. We're going to do, I'm going to go try to scramble my brain to be able to do this clip game. All right, we're going to take a break. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Sweeps.
Go Blue.
Balls.
I did, playing tackle football. He's afraid to get hit, put him in basketball. We tried to practice his first game 3 motherfucking times. He shot in the wrong basket. Oh no, I still love him. That won't ever stop. I just might love him more if he had a jump shot. Oh, my son is not good at sports. My son is not good at sports. He don't got no arm. His handles are trash. Can't beat my jeans. I'm so fucking mad. Put him in baseball. He can't throw a lick. I know he's not good, but I'ma still blame the coach for this shit. He can learn coding skills. Chess club could be a star. I'm sure he'll find his field. It just won't be 100 yards. Oh, I still love him. That won't ever stop. I just might love him more if he had a jump shot. Oh, my son is not good at sports. My son is not good at sports.
All right, welcome back to Chip Chat here on Beltway Radio and Beyond. I'm your host, Chip. With me is Tez.
So sad.
That was sad, but also very funny. Good job, Brian. Where'd you
That
get
was
that
a
one?
good one. That was actually very fucking funny. My son.
I'm still gonna blame the coach.
See, catchy.
Did he say he'll find the field, but not 100
But it
yards?
won't be 100 yards. Yeah,
That's good.
that's a great line.
It's a great line. There's a lot of good lines there.
All right.
All right.
Okay, so here we're gonna set up the clip game here. So each week, after we do the show, right, then our long-suffering producer Brian compiles the clips from the show, and no, he is not AI. He's a real person, and we post those clips, and hopefully all y'all enjoy them, which we don't know if you do or not. But what you don't get to see is the file names on these clips, and I think really only I get to see them. Tez could see them, but of course he doesn't.
No.
And often the name of the file is the funniest thing about this clip, right? So I'll see the file name and I can sometimes guess what I think it's about, but usually I can't. And then when I watch the clip and I connect it to the file name, it is just comedy gold. Okay, so this is this secret little headline thing. It's better than the headline you see in the thumbnails, right? Because when we post the clips, they've got a thumbnail, a headline, and
Right.
sometimes that's related, but it's not always the same. So like this is a thing that only we get to see, but every year or so, or twice a year, we like to celebrate this and share this with everybody else in a game that we call the Chip Clip game. And the way that this works is Brian will play us one of these clips, and then we have to guess the file name. Isn't that mostly how that goes,
Yeah.
Brian?
That's how it works.
Okay, and then we
never get it. I don't think we've ever gotten it exactly right.
No, I don't think so. One of us gets
So,
to go first.
There are the times where you kind of did get it and times you don't. And I sort of give a pass here and there.
Yeah. So Brian, in his other capacity, is the game master, right? And so we're going to turn this over to him, and he is going to quiz us on our own show. Go ahead, Brian. Do your worst.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the return of the clip game. Chip has kind of fully explained everything here. So pretty much we will go to our first clip. Let's see. We got to set this up properly.
Oh, yeah.
Just
there
like
categories?
so.
Oh, no, there's not categories.
And there it is. It's an old school one, too.
Studio. Liz Cheney book.
Here we go.
Yeah, there you go.
The audio and play.
Let's talk about this last week. I just want to be really clear to everybody.
It's going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
It's going to happen.
It's zero chance.
It's going to happen.
You want to bet?
I think these debates are foolish in the sense that they're not following the traditional.
Well, they
rules.
have no purpose.
Yeah, like it doesn't fall into whatever the committee is. I forgot the committee that.
Well, they're all mad about this too.
They should be. Yeah, I mean, because again, they
got nixed out.
And some of the shit, I think, like no crowds, I think makes sense. I do think that. I think that makes sense.
Cutting the mics,
I think makes sense as well too. That I think it happens. I think here's my hot take. I think the debate happens. I think Donald Trump walks off the stage.
Okay.
He walks.
He'll get the introduction.
Something is said.
He'll say probably hi, bye, whatever.
No, he's gonna go on those long diatribes and they're gonna kill the mic, and he's gonna be like, "It's enough," and he's gonna walk off. I guarantee.
Okay,
that's what I'm calling.
All right, I'm gonna bet the debate never happens. And 6-pack of something analogous to Hop Slam.
Yeah, whatever.
That's the bet.
There it is.
Okay.
There it is.
You saw it live.
Okay. Do we get choices?
No, we have to guess them with our own brain.
Choices of what? You want clues?
No, he wants bloody multiple choice to choose from. No. I'm gonna go with the bet.
Yeah. I think it's
right. Chip.
I think it's master debate or bet or something like that.
Okay. All right, here we go. The correct answer is the bet.
Yes, no way.
The bet. Right off the bat.
That is right on. Way to go.
Look, I'm mad I was that excited about that to get it. Immediately when I was like, no, if I was going to name this, we're talking about debate, the bet. Yeah, the bet.
That's brilliant. Great work.
Look at that.
There you go.
All
Hop
right.
slam for you.
Hop slam for me.
Yeah. I haven't seen that in a while, by the way.
All right.
We need to call them up.
All right, ready for the next one?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Here we go. Here's the setup.
Oh God,
okay.
I'm in.
This is when Tez was out on the road.
Chance that the Trump people are like vain, but also have a bench of qualified people who understand policy, government, and a mission to run the show. I'd feel less worried about people like Hegseth in charge of giant operations like the Defense Department. Like, I don't think Rubio is going to unmake the State Department.
No.
I don't think Bondi is going to unmake DOJ. I think she's going to weaponize it, but I don't think she's going to unmake it. And I don't think that these people are like hazardous to the safety of the United States in very many ways. I think they're going to put us further back, that we're going to have to fix it again, but I don't think they could endanger us. I think somebody like Pete Hegseth could make some decisions that, unless there is a strong pushback from the rank and file and from the actual generals that he thinks are maybe not really generals, could really put somebody in danger. Like he could bomb Iran out of thin air and like start a major war without really understanding what it is he's doing because he's woefully unqualified. I'm not talking about a little bit unqualified.
I think what we don't necessarily always factor in here, though, is that there's one person running this show. And whatever he like, so if Pete does that, it's because it was ordered from the top.
I understand that.
I don't think like even it's, but then that's going to happen no matter who's in the position, right? And unless the person in the position, I wonder sometimes, and I don't think it'll happen in this administration, but the previous administration had like these career people in it, right? Like that just knew what the institutions were. We'll placate some stuff, but we're not going to try to bend and break the institution. I don't believe that that's the same folks that we're going to have coming into this next administration. All right. That is the Thursday prior to inauguration. I'm pretty sure based on and I feel like it's that because you have on Kami's gear and we're gearing up for the NFC championship game.
I think that's probably right.
That is it there. So then is this something to do? I almost want to go with inauguration, but I'm gonna go for Pete's sake.
That's a good one. Yeah, I'm thinking something like Pickled Pete. Yeah, because he wasn't Secretary of War yet. No. I think I'm gonna go Pickled Pete something. That's as much as I could guess.
Well, surprisingly enough, it wasn't just about Pickle Pete. It was pretty much about the whole administration itself. And the title was Conning Down the Orange Pipeline.
That's good. That's
wow.
So good.
Pretty much because the main thing was the fact that you guys were talking about how this whole administration was conning the people about what their objective was.
That's funny though.
So,
oh man. See, this is the kind of stuff that like I like to get to share because this is really funny stuff.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't get no points for that either.
Nope, no one does. All right. All right, here comes the next one. And we saw a little
getting it spot on
display there. Here we go.
I look so washed out in
today. They had Linda McMahon's confirmation.
Yeah.
There was a protester try to yell out something before he got exiled.
From Beltway Radio,
it's amazing that some of these people that I don't know where, again, we all know that Trump, all he does is watch Fox News or OAN and see these people be on there and figures like, oh, they could do the job. Yeah, I'll hire them when I'm president. And it's like, full well, they're not qualified.
Well, McMahon served in his first administration, remember? She was the head of the Small Business Administration.
Right. So. But the thing is, what I'm saying here is like, again, watching the Linda McMahon's confirmation hearing, the Republicans' questions were so softballed, so lighthearted. I felt that it's like, dude, everyone knew that you're just going to vote her in. And it's like you're not even trying to grasp this is a serious interview. These are people who are sitting in positions to where it affects everybody.
I missed those hearings. What were the tough questions being asked?
There weren't any real tough questions.
It was like one of the questions. Well, let's say this again. I was focused on Linda. It was like one of the questions was like, "Are you willing to stop funding, of proper education? Are you willing to, for federal funding for those who abuse the power and abuse the money and all that stuff?" And it was like, really? It's like it's more like a yes or no question, but at the same time, it's kind of like you got these questions handed to you out of a Cracker Jack box.
How dirty is she? I mean, what dirt?
Linda?
Yeah.
I mean, Linda McMahon, I mean, she's not really dirty. I just felt like she tried several times to be a senator up in
Connecticut.
I think she ran in Connecticut.
Yeah, like I think she tried like 3 or 4 times and lost every time.
She lost, just like everybody else in the Trump administration.
Yeah.
They're all people who've lost elections.
Yeah.
I mean,
business wise, I think when she was running WWF/E, I mean, she was a good business owner. You know, I mean, she ran the company very well up to the point where her husband can do a lot of dirty shit.
Yeah,
But
she's not creative.
She's downloading it.
She's a business-minded person, and that's it. And I felt like her going into putting her into Department of Education. No, unless you understand suplexes and you know strangleholds, that's it. I just felt like that's her business.
All right, I know what I think it is.
Okay, go with this.
I know.
McMahon Mania.
Okay.
Okay, Ted, that's a good one.
Yeah, and I was thinking something about can you smell what Linda's cooking?
That's good.
Yeah. I think it's either can you smell what Linda's cooking or something like that, or like suplex education. Because that's funny. But
That's
I'm
true.
gonna go with smell what Linda's cooking.
Smell what Linda's cooking. Good answers for both of y'all. But the actual answer is you're in the wrong business, Linda.
Oh wow. For the Stone Cold.
Yeah, it's still cold in the picture.
That's
man. Okay.
All right.
We
I'm
were
still
way
winning.
off.
Still winning.
Yeah, you're still winning.
Well, I win this by just getting the first one.
Yes.
I should have,
By choice.
I should have
You
2
were
points.
Spot on.
I
Dude.
should get
That's
2
gotta
points
be
for that
worth
first
something.
one. Yeah.
I'm glad I
All right,
learned
here's the
how my
next one.
lighting works because in all of these clips, I
Yeah.
look as white as the background behind me.
Yeah,
Now I
Pretty
have
bad.
a modicum
You
of
see the
color.
improvement of the lighting here.
Yes,
Yeah.
there's a lot of big improvement.
So here's the next one.
Oh, look, we're back to this. The other thing that I keep thinking about is like the phase 2 thing. If I was Hamas, I wouldn't trust it for an instant. The second they give up the rest of the hostages, if the Israelis
Have a lot of days off.
signed a deal to move and be out of Gaza, the second they get their hostages back, they're going to come up with a reason that the quote unquote deal was broken and just go right back in and massacre everybody. There won't be anything stopping.
Hey, I got that right.
I can't see anybody agreeing to that.
I just think that when you got no one else on the table, a lot of things going to be left out.
This is the Brian Clip Show.
This is going to be another messy process for everybody, even with the next administration, even the one after it. Because again, like we said before, if the right people aren't at the table, it's just going to be a return cycle.
Yeah, I don't see a way out of this. Certainly this isn't a way out of it, but it could at least stop the bloodshed for a little while and get some aid in there.
That's I mean, right now that's what the main thing is. It's like, let's stop this. Let's help those who need to be helped. And you know, again, this is, I don't want to say it's a PR move, you know, but in a way it kind of is, because you know, this is what, you know, when this whole thing started, everyone was going mad about how Biden wasn't doing anything and all that stuff. I just feels like, to me, it's like, this is an Israel thing. It's been there's been their issue for so long. The U.S., I think, trying to being this old school, you know, be the world police and try to calm it down. And it's just like, look, it can't calm itself down when it's something where it's like, yeah, all the people are not involved.
I have no idea.
All right.
I'm gonna go with cease and deceased.
Ah, that's great.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah. That means you got it wrong.
Exactly.
No, you never know.
I just try to get close.
I don't know. I rinse and repeat. I don't. Yeah. That's my guess. That's as good as I can.
Rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
He probably got that.
Final answer.
Yes.
You probably got that.
All right, and the answer is who's at the table?
I thought about it having something at the table.
Yep.
Okay.
Because Brian kept saying about the table. This is the
Yeah,
Brian
all about
clip
the
show.
table.
Brian is playing all the clips of Brian.
I wasn't in the first two.
He's so DJing to himself. We are so DJing to ourselves that we're
Right.
watching Brian make clips about Brian. All right. Do we got any more?
Well, this next one doesn't have me in it, so
All right.
you'll like this one.
Okay. Oh, it's got audio.
Yep,
Let's-
there we go.
let's
I
hope.
sort of brought it in, but there it is.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Yes,
Christmas
do you want to explain this incredible game that you've thought up?
Well,
Oh,
this
no.
game is the basic game, right? It's two lies and the truth, but we're doing book titles.
Okay.
So
No.
we'll read off 3 book titles, and you'll just let me know which one you think is the true book title.
Okay.
You should explain what the frame of
yes.
reference here is.
And there are, some publishers out there like Bloomsbury that puts out great books, right? There's some publishers like that. And then we have other ones out there, that, publish some, sometimes on the fringe type of books, like, maybe The Builder, the role of Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia as a leader in world peace. Places like that. They might publish a book like that. And that's a real title, right?
That's a real one. Okay.
That's a real title.
I remember this happening.
Alice, you ready for the game?
Okay, I'm ready.
All right, here we go. Okay. All right. We have Badman Bannon, Steve Bannon's travel across Kingston, Jamaica. All right. And then so that's one there. Twilight of the Shadow Government, How Transparency Will Kill the Deep State. And our third option here is Cash Rules Everything Around Me, A Journey from the Fringe to the FBI.
Very fitting because he was confirmed today.
Okay. I really want the Bannon one to exist. But I think is it the second one? Is that the one?
Second one, ding,
Yeah.
ding, ding. Yes, Twilight of the Shadow Government. How Transparency Will Kill the Deep
That's
State.
too bad.
There you go. Right. That's that one. Okay. All right. Let's go. We'll go on to round number 2 here.
This was a great game.
We have Flying for Peanuts, Tough Deals, Steep Bargains, and Revolution in the Skies. All right. So there's one. We have Kufis and Yarmulkes, Self-Hate Stories by Herschel Walker and Stephen Miller. And we have South Africana Musk, Dutch Natural Deodorant Recipes.
Okay. There are so many good ones here. It has to be the first one, right? The Flying for Peanuts. That has to be the real one, right? Okay.
This is the Inception. I'm laughing.
This one, brilliant. This is a tricky one here, because they're all the same title. So it's just the subtitle here that we gotta go with here. All right.
All right.
So, That Day in Dallas,
No.
Jimmy Johnson Traded Me. That Day in Dallas, Lee Harvey Oswald Did Not Kill JFK. That Day in Dallas, Look at That Way He's Gone, and NBA Star's Departure.
I don't know. The second one?
The second one, yes. There you go. 3 for 3 there.
Yeah.
There you go. You won the inaugural game. You probably will never play again.
The voice of anybody from ChipChat on your voicemail?
Yes.
Oh man, I remember that.
Kufis and Yarmulkes.
The Kufis and Yarmulkes thing is by far one of the funniest things you've ever written.
That's What is this clip called?
I know what I think it's called.
Hold on. I'm gonna go with Koofies and Yarmulkes. I'm gonna go with Koofies and Yarmulkes.
I think it's called Badmon Bannon.
That's
what I think it's called.
Badmon Bannon books.
Yeah.
All right. It's got to be one of those two. We got
All right. The actual title is pretty much the title fiction hosted by Tez.
The title figure.
It covers too many things.
Yeah.
That was such a good bit, though. Poor Allison, man.
Just what the hell?
She was not ready for what you were doing to everybody with that one.
Oh my!
I so want the Bannon one to exist. Is an incredible one. I also like that as I'm watching this, my reaction to the joke is the same.
That's what I was saying. It was like in weird inception. You're laughing at it at the same time.
Because it's just how I'm reacting. That's my reaction to those jokes, apparently.
Oh shit! Oh god, that's
actually too funny.
Fuck, that's funny.
Well, here's maybe you get another similar reaction to this next one. Here we go.
Oh no.
And let's owe to him to make me put up the cover art for these clips.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Here we go.
I can't understand where they're even getting this from. They think that they believe this stuff, that people are just running across the border to murder blonde women.
You also have to understand the example. I have this segment I used to do on my channel called Wisdom from Africa.
He's doing more of that.
Somebody said farting in a quiet room is always louder.
Yeah.
Right. That's an African wisdom. To remind you that if, let's say, you go to buttfuck nowhere, Texas, for example, because it's the reddest state out there. Buttfuck nowhere, Texas, small town, right? And let's happen that, Kojo has a son, and Kojo is the only African in town, and his son is getting picked on by all these racist kids, right? And all of a sudden, few years pass, and he become a teenager. He's like, "Fuck this shit. You fuck with me, I'm gonna punch the shit out you," right? Now Kojo just had a felony or have been charged because he live in a town where they can charge him as an adult. They charge him now. The news is not going to be Kojo's parents have served this community, go to church every day. And, this kid, just like every other teenager, after a soccer game or football game, was getting picked on by this kid and he reacted. That's not going to be that.
No.
Oh my God, this immigrant are taking over our town. Their kids are, those criminals are, and then the news being as volatile as it is, just boom, go there, right? Then they nitpick on these small little stories that in every time and day never happened. This is just a repetition of what happened to African Americans.
All right, I love the idea of buttfuck nowhere, Texas.
It's not. I want to go with that.
I want it to be that, but it's not that. I think it's wisdom from Africa.
I'm gonna go with wisdom from Africa. Is pretty good.
Which check out Hood Sommelier for his stuff. He's got more
a lot of great content. He's
great content and more wisdom from Africa. By the way,
yeah.
Jack is a good guy.
I'm gonna go buttfuck Texas. Fuck it. I'm just gonna go with it.
It's a good name.
It's not gonna be that, but I'm gonna go with
Could
that.
be the file name.
Could be.
All right, let's see. What is it, Brian?
Survey says, and I'll give this to Chip with some African wisdom. So I'll give it to him.
Tie.
Close.
You've gotten on the board.
I'm on the board.
Shouldn't be a tie. I should have 2 points. So I got the whole thing right.
That was some African wisdom with some.
This should be a
from
half
Africa.
point
I
for
get
you.
like a half a point maybe for that.
Yeah,
I like.
I'll give you the full point. So everyone
okay,
gets the
thank
full
you.
point. There's no halves here.
No half points here. No such thing as halfway points.
Yes.
to repurpose
Yeah,
the line.
tell that to
Yeah, that's
the
what that's
Buccaneers who lost today.
They did.
Oh,
Damn, Baker.
Baker, not
All
the
right,
playmaker.
here we go. Here's the next one. And shout out to Doug,
Oh yeah,
Mr. Perspective, with his perspective.
Oh no.
Uh-oh.
Please tell me what the tooth fairy looks like. Please wake up in the middle of the night when she takes that tooth and how much money she gets. Because I'm serious. I don't understand why. I'm just speaking for us. I don't understand why we still vote when no president, and I mean no president, has ever done anything for us at all.
So
At all.
don't vote general election for the president. The specific thing you saying, or just in general, we just not local town, whatever, sheriff,
doesn't
whoever.
like
Okay, and this is not even trying to be funny. All right, us voting is like being with a woman who doesn't cook, doesn't clean, and doesn't fuck us, but we hope that she'll do at least one of the three over the next 4 years.
I mean, I can see how you get
Yeah,
to that. By no means would I say that that's not a valid position to have.
The beauty of it is you allowed to do that.
President
Shout
won't
out to
clean.
Doug.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it. Man, there's a lot of choices here.
It's a lot of choices.
Voting won't clean your house. I
Fuck
don't
the
know, there's-
vote. I'm going with fuck the vote.
Yeah. I think. Yeah. That's probably right.
I think I might have this. I don't
I
know.
think you're right.
I think I might have it.
Nah, quit voting, something like that. I mean, it's gonna be the same thing. I don't know what to say. It's like that. Voting doesn't clean, or something like that.
Okay. Well, the actual retail price of this clip is the Real Housewife of the White House.
Oh
God!
Because they don't cook, they don't clean, they don't do shit.
God.
Right. I was on the right track.
You were. That's not a point.
No. Right track is not a point.
Not right. It's not the point.
But it was that's funny anyway.
That's really good.
Doug's funny.
Doug is hilarious.
All right, we're still tied.
Go
Brian.
vote.
Yep,
Don't
still
care what
tied.
Yeah,
Here's
you
the
can
next
see in
one.
Tez's face on that clip. He was like, "What the fuck you talking about? Don't vote."
upset.
Well, here's his face for this one.
American and go to that
All right,
ceremony
yeah. So this is a
just to get
special
the vote.
immigration rundown. So as you know, Trump has decided to attack immigrants.
Is this today?
Much like I don't know, his marriages. So in this case, he's attacking brown immigrants, which he definitely would not characterize his marriages as. And one of them, okay, so he's been raiding all of these. He's been sending his ICE guys to go raid like schools and churches and hospitals and like disaster shelters and like places where people are, but they're probably not leaving. It's really dystopian.
Sometimes not the violent ones that he promised everyone most of
Right.
the time.
He's deported several hundred people at a time. He's doing this in the most expensive way possible, sticking them on military jets that could hold
No
several,
AC.
but they could hold several hundred people. He's flying like 80 at a time. Instead of the regularly already scheduled flights like the ones to Colombia, he was like, yeah, we're gonna put 80 guys on a C-17 and fly them all the way to Colombia. It's like, we had 2 flights scheduled this week and we're going to put 200 on each one of those. Can't we just put them on? And he's like, no.
Show strength.
Yeah, we have to waste money on sticking them in the back of cargo planes somehow. So it's all just like stupid, right? And it's racist as all get out. There's no two ways about this. So and as we've discussed on this show, like I have this fantasy of like trying to provoke ICE to come after me by walking around being Australian and just like hoping that they come after me for my accent, but they're not going to come after me for my accent because, right, of course, even if I wasn't overstay, right, Australian, they're like,
they're not looking for you.
Right, they're not looking for me.
Yeah.
All right, he's probably going to get this here because it says, I feel like until you went to Australian accent, I feel like I had a good name, and now I don't trust it anymore.
I know what I think it is.
I'm gonna go with immigrant cargo.
Yeah, there's definitely like a human trafficking joke in there somewhere, but I think it's ChipChat Croc Hunter.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
Crocky.
Yes, you're in the area, but unfortunately not in the right territory.
Kiwi?
It is no Aussie ice here.
I was close.
You could have got that. You were close.
I was close.
You were close.
Close.
Still
Horseshoes
tied.
and hand grenades. All right. Still tied. God damn it.
Yes.
This is
All right.
this
Here's
is
the
coming
next
down
one.
to
Let's see if we
stoppage
can break
time.
this tie here.
Much like Villa and Gunners.
Oh god.
And it featured my favorite super heroine.
Yeah.
So initially, Linda is, basically was giving her 2 cents because, mind you, I do follow her on Twitter, and she's
You were
knee-deep
coughing
in
then.
politics.
I was dying.
So
then, too.
she gave the green thumbs up to Karen Grissom and Kelly Butler in their respective districts to be, whatever their
State representatives,
stuff like
Yep.
that. The funny thing is, everybody was wondering, it's like, isn't your sister running? And it's like, said, yeah, but no, I ain't voting for her. So she gave no compliance to her own sister.
No endorsement.
No, nothing. She just does not want her because, again, Linda Carter is pro-choice. She's, pretty much pro-woman because she's Wonder Woman.
She's Wonder Woman.
Wonder Woman. And Pamela is for whatever reason,
Hates women.
hates all that aspect. So, yeah.
She would trap all the women with the golden lasso.
Yes.
Yeah. Wait for Linda to come and free them, I guess.
Yes.
It's funny that this happened also in Arizona, though, because it reminds me of Paul Gosar, who is still a congressman from Arizona, whose family ran campaign ads against him. His siblings and his mom were like, don't vote for him. When your mom runs a campaign ad against you. Yeah. Also, he's a dentist. Just to be clear about it. Apparently not a very good one. He's very twitchy. But so if Linda Carter tells you to vote for these people, are you going to take her endorsement?
Hey, it's Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
Yes, of
You'll do
course.
anything she says.
Yes.
Man, Brian loves Wonder Woman.
I love Linda Carter. I saw her,
Yeah.
like I said, like last year, I saw her at the GW basketball game, and that woman's still beautiful, even in her mid 70s. I'm sorry, not 50s,
Yeah, I was gonna say,
70s.
she's like pushing 80.
Yeah, she's almost 80.
She's got to go see Dr. Shannon. Brian's still with it though.
Probably. So, what do you think? What's the answer? The clip.
There's something about that golden lasso that's the part that stands out to me.
Wonderful endorsements.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Wrong. It's wrong.
Oh, I fucked up the bell.
Bell's
somehow.
dead.
Uh-oh. What happened? I hit it too hard. There we go.
There we go.
I think
stress ball. It's a bell.
golden lasso of no, wait. I don't know. Golden lasso something.
No. Anyway,
Best I can do.
the correct answer is listen to Wonder Woman. Don't vote for my sister.
Oh, because of the endorsement. I can
Yeah,
see.
there's
Yeah, that makes a
that's
lot of
focused
sense.
too much on the story.
Yep. Captain
Not on the obvious joke about the golden lasso and catching all the women.
But you may think this will be funny.
Okay, let's
All
see.
right, here we go. Here's the next one.
Oh
God, this is gonna be fun.
Is the abortion issue where the choices are pro-life or pro-choice instead of the choices should be pro-choice or anti-choice. But somehow those of us that support access to healthcare are stuck with this word pro-life. I don't like that word. I don't use that word. I don't use the word tax cut. I use the word tax expenditure because that's what it actually is. It is important to get on the message. You mentioned that
real quick. This is one simple, and I'll be quick. Democrats are literally sitting here having a debate about abortion. They're talking, and this is my big fear. Like I did my MA thesis on hyperpartisanship. The problem right now is not hyperpartisanship. It's literally that the two parties are yelling past each other.
Yeah.
And so, like, when Republicans use the term abortion, that
I
is
was
not a
dying
medical
then.
term. So this is where I'm like, Democrats, you literally should just pick a new word because you guys are fighting for basic freedom for my sister-in-law who had a few miscarriages. Very conservative Christian girl. Those miscarriages are literally technically termed abortion.
Yep.
And so literally, why are Democrats having this debate about a word? Literally change your phraseology, use a different word. And I think that's when Democrats are just stupid. Like, change your lexicon because you're not going to win this debate because Republicans already own that term, at least to the evangelical right, which is really powerful and really doesn't know how to read the Bible.
I want it to be abort abortions.
It's
but
not that.
It's not that.
It's not that.
I want it to be that. Stupid Dems or something like
Yeah,
that.
that's what I was thinking. Like,
But Elon.
Oh,
it
was me. I did it. But Elon. I think it's stupid Dems.
Stupid Dems is really good. We're talking about abortion. I'm gonna go with something like new language needed or something like that. I know it's not that. I don't have anything for this. I don't know.
I want it to be abort abortions, but
it's not the abort abortions.
I know.
Actually, I used one of the words that he used. And I
Bible. Wait, I want to.
Oh my, the Bible. Oh, that's cheating.
I haven't read the Bible.
Well,
illiterate Bible readers.
Yes.
There we go. But
wrong.
No, it's lexicon charms.
Oh, that's funny. See,
that's
this is the thing that I want people to get to see. That's funny.
That's funny.
With the graphic and everything.
Mm-hmm. So, all right, here's the next one. And this is a mystery.
Oh, it's a mystery.
Let's solve this mystery.
Oh, Charlie's here for this one.
Okay.
Oh, they're muted.
When I first saw that he
Silence.
died, I was just like, okay, yeah, he's 95. Although he was kicking around until the very end. Like, I think just like 6 months ago, someone took a picture of him at a drive-through. Not because they were like, oh, he's screwing up at a drive. It's like, dude, Gene Hackman's at the drive-through.
Gene Hackman.
But yeah, that was just, this is just weird.
And once I further read that the wife and dog died, I was like, what? Wait, yeah.
What's your theory? Did the dog die in the cage? Did they say that? Is the dog locked in the cage? Or was
No,
it
dog wasn't locked in a cage. There were two other dogs that
were outdoors.
That were outside.
Yeah. So I think that the wife basically like had a heart attack or something like that, and she was caring for Gene and the dogs, and then without her there, they died a couple days later or something. That's my theory.
That's a crazy.
Turned out I was right.
Because then they crazy. But they said but how long? I know they said Gene Hackman when they found him was what, a week or 2 weeks somewhere?
Like 9 days, I think it was.
9
Like,
days?
I think both him and his wife had been dead for like 9 days.
Yeah. So if she died and she was the primary caregiver for a 95-year-old guy and a dog,
Gene Hackman couldn't get up and get his own pills.
Yeah, or couldn't get food, or couldn't, like, who knows what condition he was in.
The Bone Block.
Yes.
That's sick. Get us out of here. Oh,
yes.
God.
But anyway, yes.
And it turned out I was right, by the way.
That
The Hack Man.
That is true.
Dead.
Did I get it right? It's the Hack Man. I think it's Hackman.
Whoops. I think
Or
I lost
the
that.
Hackman or something like that. But I did get it right on what befell Mr. Gene Hackman.
I'm gonna be like the dog, the wife, and
that's
Gene
true.
Hackman. That's what I'm gonna go. The dog, the wife, and Gene Hackman.
Okay. Final
Okay.
answers.
I'm just trying to get close.
Here we go. Final answer. I will say I'll give you both a point because it's pretty much the Gene Hackman's death theory.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Tied it too.
Well, now we're still
So,
tied.
because everyone was trying to theorize what that happened.
I got it right.
So I'll give you the points on that for both of you.
It was
So
the
you're
most
2-2.
obvious thing. All right. How many more of these
So-
you got, Brian? Because our producer gets mad if you go too long.
I know. Well, that's why I'm in control. All right,
He's
we
like,
will
"You
get
guys
up
will
to
stop
when
it."
we get to 12:25. So we got 5 more minutes. So let's see if you
Okay.
can break this tie. So here we go. This is something that you guys might enjoy, and it's for Tez's favorite product.
Oh no.
The bone broth. Well, now it's the next level of that. It's caveman.
That was, of course, Brian's favorite game to play called Show Weird Alex Jones songs to Tez.
Yeah, I was not familiar with this before I.
Have you
started
ever
the show.
swallowed a caveman?
No.
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 And go, it can't be both.
It's actually really good. If anybody says it's actually really good, it's not. They wouldn't use that qualifier.
Yeah, so you're swallowing caveman. His words, not mine. His words.
Okay. All right.
So what is the title for that one?
Swallowing.
Oh,
caveman.
first off, Tez, you need to give your support for the shady.
yes, sorry, yes, because we did just play Alex Jones. I did Sandy Hook Promise, as always, where we do laugh at a lot of Alex Jones stuff on this show, so we thought it was only right to go ahead and promote Sandy Hook Promise, nonprofit that is to support victims of gun violence after the horrific shooting in Sandy Hook,
Newtown, Connecticut.
Newtown,
Yep.
Connecticut. Yeah, that is killed. We mowed down a bunch of children, and Alex Jones doesn't think that happened. So
That's right.
yeah. I'm gonna go, and it's just easy transition. Swallowing cavemen.
I was gonna go with showing Tez the bone.
Oh God. I got so many jokes that I could just go right from there, just with those two poorly phrased things. Yo.
Okay, so Tez, what was yours again?
Swallowing caveman.
Okay,
I've
and
got
Chip, what's yours?
Showing Tez the bone.
Show it Tez the bone. And survey says we'll give point to Tez.
There we
Swallow
go.
Easy, caveman can do it.
A caveman can do
Caveman
it.
can-
That's
good.
very
That's
what a
good.
graphic, too.
What a
Oh my
graphic.
God.
Ugh. Get it off the screen.
Look at his face, man.
He's had the
How
bone
fucking-
broth.
Like, what is he on in that
Bone
moment?
broth.
Look at his eyes.
bone broth.
The bone broth. Like Ovaltine, but good.
Ugh.
What Ovaltine he was drinking.
Yuck, man. That shit literally makes me want to throw up. I feel my mouth sweating.
Just even thinking about it.
Thinking
yes.
about it literally makes me want to. There's very few things that make me want to throw up. That just makes me want to throw up.
The
every
bone
time.
broth.
All right, here's the next one. All right, it's 3-2 Tez.
All right, I need to see if I can take this
Here we
away.
go. See where this will go. And play.
So this is where we're going to play. We're going to take a break. Now, in the last few weeks, Brian has been using this opportunity to throw something completely inappropriate at us in the break, which
Yes.
I'm guessing he's going to do that again. So just heads up.
Okay. I love inappropriate.
Yes, Brian, are you ready
Then
to
you
go to a break?
love this one.
You love this one.
Oh Lord.
Okay, we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Taco Trump is a taco Trump, always chickens out, runs faster than a shadow. He talks tough, then retreats like a taco made of fluff. No beans, no meat, just bluff.
That's no queso, amigos. I'm wondering, is there any dance classes for those dances that he's giving out?
Yeah, I want to know how to do that. Flip your shoulder
down, right?
your body move.
I want to do that.
Oh God! So this is where Tez would say AI and Brian must be stopped. I agree. AI and Brian must be stopped. But
I think AI are becoming best friends here. It's like I said. Yeah. I've been joining the dark side for a very long time. So this
I've been joining the dark side for a very long time.
Oh my God. Some good dance moves. So.
Yeah. I'm still trying to wonder how he did that owl body move. I'm just
yeah, that's my favorite part of the video is how he like flips his whole body all the way around, and then he does, and also like why his arms and legs are disproportionate from each other.
Yeah.
Way to go, AI.
Yes, AI, great job.
So close.
All right, what's this one?
Taco
and
Trump
shout out to
dance
Boots
class.
to Heels.
Yeah.
Taco Cha-Cha.
Oh, that's good too. By the way, my kids love the other
Wait, say that
Trump
again?
Taco AI song. They sing it all the time. The taco jump always chickens out. Oh no. They love that one. Yeah, I think it's Trump taco dance moves.
I say Taco Cha-Cha.
Taco Cha. Oh, damn, both are good.
Both wrong,
but the actual correct answer is, and I'll give it to Chip with the Al Taco shoulder spin. So I'll give it to him.
Shit.
Slightly getting it.
That's pretty good. Look at the taco.
What is going on?
That was the move. It was weird.
No, but look at the taco guy second from the left.
Yes, what is going on? What is going on?
Oh my God.
What is going on?
You gotta love it. You gotta love AI. All right. All right, here we go. Last one. Winner takes all. Let's see what happens.
Marbles.
Best picture right now, if I may.
Yeah, absolutely. So do you get extra points for predicting the nominees in advance in addition to predicting the winners?
We get bragging rights if we're able to say that we predicted the correct best picture winner at this point in the race. Yeah, we get major bragging rights.
Yeah, I think at that point you go down in history as like the best at this ever.
Yeah, I think some of us have to. I think someone has to buy us a sub too, but I'm not sure. But I'm not positive about that. Okay, I'm going 10-1 on this one. Number 4, we have Wicked for Good, the second part of the origin story of Elphaba, the Wicked Witch of the West, and Glinda, the Good Witch of the North, starring Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Bowen Yang, Jeff Goldblum, and Michelle Yeoh. And I know Wicked got a lot of good reviews, but me and most other people who have issues with Wicked has been the second act of the show. And that's what this whole movie is. It's the second act. So we'll see how that goes.
Just side note, as somebody who owns several small children who happen to be little girls, I'm okay with them not making more Wicked. Like that, I could not get this shit to shut up. Now I got K-pop Demon Hunters.
God.
I just like, if I never hear one of those songs again, will be too soon. I don't care how venti Grande is. Like that is enough.
If I have to hear Cynthia Erivo belt one more time, I'm gonna choke a bitch.
It's not that I don't think they're talented. It's not that I don't think the movie's cool looking and the visual aspects of it are great or whatever. But like that thing was on 24 hours a day in my house for like 3 months, and I am so tired of that movie.
Yeah, you are done with that shit.
Yes. I'd rather watch Moana for the 19 millionth time, or even a couple times through Frozen, than see that.
Christ.
Dude, you don't even know.
Oh no, I know. No, I have a very good friend of mine. His daughter was very into Frozen. She's 17 now, but she was when Frozen came out. Oh man, that was all
Frozen 2, and I mean, just like little girls are great. I love being a girl dad. They are just the light of my life. But their choice in movies is terrible.
Can't wait to show them that. I know what
for all the marbles.
Brian put up. I'm losing everywhere. Brian's fucking Kyle Pitts put up 45 fantasy points on me just now. Jesus Christ!
He's about to lose this game too.
It's the playoffs, and Brian's gonna win. He's winning.
No, I'm not. You never know. It's early.
No, that 45 is crazy. I haven't put it.
You got Dak in the. He's facing some sorry team. The Vikings.
No, Minnesota, the Vikings. I'm
fine.
debating if I'm putting Brock Purdy in against Tennessee. But all right, what the hell is the name of this clip? I'm gonna go with God, we gotta try to win this here.
Yeah, you gotta try. I know what it's called. I know what I think it's called anyway.
No more Wicked songs.
I think it's called Wicked Frozen. It's Wicked Frozen.
Actually, this is based.
Oh
off
wait,
of
no.
music.
Venti Grande. There's
Oh,
a Venti
yeah,
Grande joke. Yeah, Venti Grande, Wicked Venti Grande.
You probably got that. That's I give you that.
Well, here's what it actually is. So, it's popular, but it's not this popular. It is
the song
Girl Dad's Wicked Views on Musical Movies.
Okay. Popular is the song from that
So,
movie.
since you are a girl dad,
Yeah, I do own several children who happen to be little girls, as I said in this clip.
I don't own one.
That's a great line.
It's a really good line.
Okay.
So in the end, well, Chip, you kind of win, didn't you?
I won.
Kind of win.
Yes, you did win.
I'll take it.
Congratulations.
I need a win. I give that one to Sharon Moore. He needs a win. Poor guy. Having a tough week of his own make.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So thank
Hard week.
Dr. Dan Cothran, make sure you go check out menno-start.com. The dash is for Hot Flash, and they love cash for all of your menopause needs. Thanks to our radio partners, IHOP, UTEP, and UKIP. Thanks. Yeah, funny. Thanks to NOTN for keeping us on for another week, maybe. Don't know. Thanks to our home on the interwebs, coplaymedia.com. And thanks, as always, to our family here at Beltway Radio and Rip Radio for making us sound as smooth as that nice, sweet Venezuelan oil. All right, where can everybody find you on the socials there? Oh, we got a new background.
Look at new background. Oh, this one's very festive. You can find me on Blue Sky at DC Cortez.
All right, you can find me and the show on the Twitter at Rip ChipChat, or no, wait, ChipChat RR. You can find us on Facebook or Instagram at Rip ChipChat. And you can find me joining Tez being a flaming liberal, checking on him after soccer games on Blue Sky at Chef Chip. And you can, of course, find us every Thursday night, except not the next 3 Thursday nights, at 9:30 here on Beltway Radio and beyond, and of course simulcast on Ripped Radio TV, where you can watch all of our other stuff as well. And so we won't see everybody till the new year. So happy Christmas, happy Hanukkah,
yes, Kwanzaa, holidays, New Year.
Happy December to everybody. Happy New Year. And when we see you next, we will be starting year 11 of this show. Or in February, we'll be at year 11. So yeah, we're knocking on the door. Brian, somewhere in the background, thank you for the clip game master. That was fantastic, especially because I won. And make sure that you remember that, Tez. You'll have to carry that until next June, I guess, when we do this again. All right, and stay tuned for more clips. Maybe you'll get clips of us watching our own clips. It's going to be great. All right, you can catch us next year. I'm Chip. That's Tez. Brian, somewhere in the back. You're listening to Chip Chat on Beltway Radio and beyond.
Street Balls.
3 hours.
And Tez will help you out, let you know what we're all about. We make
We may dream together.